say his name, he shall appear. Pyro's coming out of my ass. What's going on, ladies and gents? We're here live into somewhere, WrestleMania Week edition, but I am not alone. I've got some great friends with me. I've got the one, the only, the amazing Connor, former kayfabe. I've got Spaz, and I've got Cody. It's gonna be a wild night. We've got so much to discuss, so much to cover. We're gonna go over night one. We're gonna go over night two. We're gonna talk about that wet fart of a main event. My God, it's gonna be divisive, but I felt it in my bones that Cena was gonna win. But guys, what was that? I mean, what was that? That was just not good. I'm sorry. It was great.
You're talking with the main event, right?
Yes, the main event. Up until that point, we were like 5 out of 6. The women's tag was like a kind of a half, you know, so maybe 5.5 out of 6 for the night. But we were doing really well, and that match was just so plodding and slow and boring. And
see, at the beginning, I thought, and it's one of those like look back in hindsight type things. With the way that they've been doing the John Cena character, I thought it would be really funny for him to get in there and take the piss. And they did it with the entrance. No fireworks, no color, no nothing. You know, plain black and white Tron, no exuberant like run to the ring. And then when he started doing the like intentionally slow 5 moves of doom, taking the piss out of the crowd.
yeah,
I was like, okay, he's like literally slowing down the match on purpose. And it's like, oh, that's just what they're doing.
yeah.
So it would have been a cool idea as a troll, but it was the whole match.
They would have take their time.
What's the consensus though? Is the consensus that like we didn't like the match? We did like the match?
It wasn't a match.
It really wasn't a match. It was all a moment and a spectacle leading to Travis Scott coming out and basically being the X factor to Cena's win. He was the stand-in for The Rock. Where the fuck is The Rock? I mean, Travis Scott is supposed to be a big deal.
Travis Scott looks like somebody put The Rock in the microwave.
It felt like a
or the dishwasher. Tell him to go trample some more kids. At this point, you know, I'm a little pissed. This is fucking bullshit because the main event. I have looked forward to WrestleMania for so long now. The streams, the reviews, the hype. We've had some great shows, some really great shows. And I want to thank everybody in the chat. We're almost at 4,000 subscribers. 2 weeks ago, we were at 1,400. So we're getting that close. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button. Make sure you're hitting the bell because we'll be live tomorrow for the Raw after WrestleMania review.
I was gonna say before we go any farther, I want you to give yourself a shout out because you've been friggin' streaming like crazy nonstop, like a fucking madman. So
well, thank you, my friend.
Applaud yourself.
Thank you,
as far
sir.
as the main event goes, and this might age poorly as a bad take, right?
We'll see.
This time last year, right? We saw the end of the story, finish the story, the Bloodline Rules match with Roman and Cody and everything that went into that. And my take on that match last year was it was not a match, but it was a fantastic segment. Right?
Yes.
Everybody got involved. It was like a Monday Night Raw promo train on steroids. It wasn't a match, it was a segment, but in the best way possible. This is that, but the opposite.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can classify this as a match.
Just like that, just like that's a match as much as the Joe Hendry match was a match, really.
This is my overall reaction from it. I think last night the main event saved the show, and tonight the show saved the main event.
Fair.
That was very poetic, Cody. You're damn onto something there because we even said if we took that triple threat and put it on tonight, it could have been like the perfect Mania, really. Had they swapped the night's main event, I would have loved to have seen Seth winning tonight, walking out with Paul, and that be had we had the fuckery with Cena last night. It's so fit with the night one night. That aesthetic of just bullshit. Yeah. Cody not having the cojones to hit him with the belt.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
lot to
higher on
handle.
night one than most people are, and I might do a second solo pod tomorrow. Get more into my apparently controversial thoughts on that. From Thursday onward, the entire WrestleMania weekend has gone my way. Not saying that everything was stellar.
I can hear you smiling when you say that. You asshole! I can hear you smiling as you say that.
You can hear the cheesy grin. You know it's there. You know,
but it's one of the, but here's the thing.
I know you.
I'll give the prime example, right? Like a very small example. On the kickoff of Stand and Deliver, oi oi oi, yesterday.
Yes.
There was the number one contenders match. Now I know that not everybody is on the side of Chemical X. They're not everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody liked Lita when they were growing up. It's fine. I get it. People like the Meta Girls. They're awesome. People like Fatal Influence. They're awesome. Roxanne Perez should have been on the main roster 100 years ago, and Cora Jade's got big tits. But I like Chemical X.
Yeah.
My girl Shotzi came back. They won. They're going to fight for the tag titles in Vegas now against Becky Lynch and Lyra. Everything's coming up Spaz. That's why I've got them up.
Makes sense to me. So
I'm on a WrestleMania where the things that may have been lacking in quantity, in quality rather,
yeah,
made up for in my on my super bias side of things, because everything went the way I wanted it to go.
Makes
Everything went
sense.
the way I wanted it to go. Rhea didn't win. So, but neither did Bianca. So I'm calling that a score draw. And every other match went exactly the way I wanted it to go.
I get it. It makes sense, you know. So
and
yeah.
I do want to send condolences to Connor, who told me I was crazy, I believe, on one of our preview streams. When I basically said, so we all agree Jade's winning, right? And you're like, no. Well,
there we go. Got the chat.
Yes.
I did not think Jade was winning. I agreed with him because it felt like Naomi needed this win. They could have had some fuckery, and I was kind of hoping that Naomi would play into the triple threat. Thankfully, they didn't. I mean, they kept it clean.
Yeah.
And what a match that was. I'm glad Io retained. She got her moment.
Yep.
There were so many moments, again, WrestleMania moments in that match, and we'll break it all down shortly, but these are just kind of like our quick takeaways. No, my superhero costume is in the dry cleaner, so I'm just, mild mannered Clark Kent. I had to dress up. It's Easter, we're being fancy for the stream.
He's not wearing pants though.
Shout out to Shell in the chat.
You think he's lying, but I'm not. I got some shorts on now. I'm sweating.
And she wanted Rhea to win instead. I agree. I side with Rhea as far as my biases go, but it's one of those I'll lean towards Io. Io kind of needed the win, so I'm happy with it still. But shout out to Shell, because I agree with you for the most part.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Liz, we got Shell, we got Mr. Pico in there as well. Young Mellows chiming in.
I didn't see you, buddy.
Yeah, my vision, he said the last 3 matches were horrible. John Cena could only do so much, and you could tell. The match was like watching 2 old dudes fight. I mean, Cody slowed down to a fucking snail's pace for John. And we've seen Cody does have a bit of like a bit of a plotting, like he takes his time and, he does a lot of like strong strikes, and then he gets, a little bit faster, disaster kick and, like quick cutter. And so he elevates himself, but he tempers it and then ebbs and flows. John was just full steam ahead, but this engine is broke.
The match was
funny, but
the match was really weird. Like I don't even. It felt like it was very like checking a box.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do move 1. Look at crowd.
Literally
move 2. Look at crowd.
It literally felt like, in the 2K games when you do like the Road to WrestleMania mode, you have to like, make sure you throw, make sure you show the
I was literally going to say that, you have the little like directives you have to achieve. Absolutely.
To trigger the cutscenes. Like it really, especially with the Travis Scott shit, it felt exactly like that. The Travis Scott shit is just,
the Travis Scott shit feels like somebody put a creative character into their game.
And then, like you said, they put him in the dry cleaner and they shrunk his ass because My God, that was not what I expected. And all right, fine, whatever. He's going to get involved. But the audience was breaking their necks, staring at the ramp, waiting for The Rock. They weren't looking at the match or Travis. They were just staring this way.
Not just
people
that.
were looking. People were looking at the ramp long before there was any interference. Though,
but that's what I'm saying. They were just staring because they were waiting for it. They knew something had to happen, and all of the hype about Stone Cold, and all he did was piss off some Karen. He drove into her and knocked her on her ass and spilled her drink.
Okay, it wasn't good, but they were kind of smart with that. With so many people that
was
were
hilarious.
It was hilarious, but on the serious tick for a second.
He plowed into that bitch. It was funny. I'm sorry.
It was funny. But the fact that so many people were like fantasy booking him to be part of the main event.
Yeah. We all got into it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, to have him out there earlier on in the night to be like, no, you've already had your Stone Cold. Please don't expect him to show up in the main event. He's like, get out. Get out. Oh yeah. I mean, whether or not he's in trouble, it is kind of embarrassing at the same time. Like, I'm sure he's gonna get like you're not gonna sit there and wag your finger at Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's just not gonna happen. But there's gonna be some kind of sorry, we have to do something. They're gonna give them tickets to Raw tomorrow. It'll be fine.
He was literally talking about going ahead and having just the entire time this whole thing. I don't know why I'm muted. It's like all of this in XSplit is just not working on me. So, but at least you can hear them for the most part. I'm back now.
I was gonna say, could you hear us?
They can hear you loud and clear. I don't know why, but
fantastic.
we got it working now. We figured out the audio snafu. I had changed everything over because my buddy was supposed to be here. So again, I changed the setup so that we could do it in one way and make it work. But lo and behold, it didn't work out. And there's still a few bugs in the system. So we got it. It's
the system is that really shitty faction in TNA.
That's true, my friend. So yeah, we went ahead and at least like everybody could hear you throughout it. We go ahead and, as you were saying, John Cena, with that snail's goddamn pace, it was upsetting. It was tedious, and poor goddamn Stone Cold DUI 316. That tweet was hilarious. I don't give a shit. It had to happen. And I was saying quick, I said, I sent out a tweet before, and then I was like, wait, I got to save it. I said, WrestleMania 41 is over, and John Cena is the new WWE Undisputed Champion. Share your thoughts and join in for this. And guess what? It came to be. That's how confident I was that he was going to win, but not like this. Not like this, John. What the hell?
I know everybody, a lot of people are dumping on the match for reasons from night one, but I'm sorry, Gunther Jey Uso would have been at least a happy note to end the weekend on.
Exactly. This didn't. I know it was the biggest match they had, obviously, but I feel like they've had matches like that before. Like I felt Lesnar and Rollins for the title was a huge deal, and they had that open Mania. What, 35 was it? 30.
But at least they addressed it at the time when Heyman came like bursting out at that WrestleMania. He's like, well, fuck it. If we're not going to be last, we're going to be first. Like they made the placement. Like it was the first time that they'd ever on air said like, we're going to talk about shuffling the placement around and like made that a point of conversation per se. Whereas normally it was just a conversation among the fans. Right.
Yeah. Well, I love Rhea Ripley as well, Shell. So don't worry about autocorrect. But thank you, Ghetto God, and everybody in the chat. Let me know that you can't hear me, but you could see me. So it's not a good night for typing. I'm not making any excuses, but I have been up since 4:30 on Friday. So, and it's not either the streaming. It's just life, But What was funny, did you see on Twitter they were showing how a guy brought an actual adoption certificate to Rhea Ripley to be his mommy?
Oh God, I did see that. Yeah.
He had her autograph the adoption certificate, so now she's, his mommy. I don't know how much that would hold up in court, but she did sign it.
Watch when that dude does some weird like child support shit.
Yeah, right. He puts a claim against her. Now her and Buddy got to share weekends, and got to carry that big bastard around. She could carry him in one of those front huggers.
She's dealt with some weird people before, and she kind of laughs it off. But like, you can't not be creeped out by that a little bit.
Oh, it's funny in one way, but I see the eerie factor, and I don't know. Yeah, Liz, I'm still shocked that Dom's champion. I wanted to see that happen. I'm happy. She's not, but I am. Dom was so over. He came out as the biggest heel and turned out to be the biggest face at the end of it. People went freaking nuts. This night too was stellar up until pretty much like the last 3 matches. The first 4, excellent.
What was the third last match? I'm getting my order mixed up now.
So we had so 4th was the Hendry one.
It was Orton
5th was
Henry.
So 5th was Paul and Styles. I like that, but then we got the tag match, and left a lot to be desired. And then we had the Austin thing, which really just turned into DUI 316, and then we had Cody and Cena, which went on for a long time. It felt like it was only 21 minutes, but that felt like it went on forever.
I'll say, like, I know not everybody was happy about the tag match, and people are like questioning the Bailey situation and whatnot. I get it. It's a conversation to have. The Orton Joe Hendry match, I didn't find it disappointing because it was just a thing to do in a good way. They wanted to give Orton his 20th WrestleMania. He got to have a good spot. He looked like he was having a blast. And for the people that are upset that the TNA deal is only focusing on NXT, well, your champion just got featured at WrestleMania and had a nice little exhibition match. It had no heat. It had no heat because they don't have a feud.
It was 3 minutes and 10 seconds long. It was just a moment. You know what really upset me, and it's such a silly thing, but he got to the point right here at the Rumble, the wave your hands, but then they kind of just had him get in the ring and they cut the song off, and I'm like, we didn't get to see the whole crowd, in unison, and I wanted to see that in a big audience.
In the Rumble, though.
Exactly. So I was just my own little, disappointment.
I will say though, and I went back and looked at it because, like during all the video package, and there's all the people out there, oh my God, there were so many spaces between matches. Fuck off with your calculator bullshit. Right. But it did give you an opportunity to like check in with some other things. I was like usual, I was watching our friends over at the Wrestling for Life Network who are doing crazy watch along content. Go give those guys some love. But I was also flipping through X and, finding all the unpopular opinions. And I watched the entrance, right? Because I was watching it and I was experiencing it myself for the first time. So I reacted my own way. But if you go back and listen to it, the pop when that door opens and like, oh, it's just TNA. Nobody gives a fuck about TNA. Listen to the pop.
Oh yeah. Oh, every time it's
pop for him is insane.
And yes. Oh, I should say happy 420 to everybody out there as well. I've been going shot for shot. Can we say it's a good WrestleMania comparing to previous WrestleManias? I'm gonna have to take a little time because I'm so emotionally into it at this point, and I know that's Connor demanding the talking stick. Yes, sir. I put him on. I put the pressure on him.
I can hear you.
I know you can. I was just messing with him with the soundboard, but still, I was extremely excited to see Joe Hendry. I loved that he got to wave his hands side to side. That's what I wanted. I wanted to see the crowd in unison. I wanted to see him get that moment. You could see he just soaked it all in, and then Randy raising his arm, bringing him to each spot, and then again hitting the RKO into somewhere. I loved it. Couldn't have been better. It was a moment that was special. And he does the
Austin thing. It's like, I don't have a problem with you, but I'm going to drop you on your head anyway.
Mm-hmm. And it's perfect, and you can't be upset by it. It's like the RKO became what the stunner was. You know, you
exactly.
just have it come into somewhere, and it's a meme all in itself. When he ever did the pivot and then into the RKO,
Okay. I think Connor's trying to talk. I'm sorry, like he's talking around thing, and can you hear Connor?
can we? Let's see now.
I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
Connor.
me now?
I can hear you. So
Okay, good. All right.
Okay. I
thought I was cutting him off there.
No, I've been trying to talk for I've been going for 20 minutes, and I don't think anybody.
I don't think you've been being heard. I don't know why, but
No.
Discord apparently muted you in here. I don't know how.
Sweet.
Did you mute yourself at all at any point?
Nope.
All
Well,
right.
I mean, other than doing it.
That'll do it.
Ah, God damn it.
I think you were just muted. So now we can get your points in, sir. Look
Cool.
at this. We're all professional stoning bastards on 420.
Yeah, I'm celebrating, all right.
That's right.
I don't know how to feel about the Cena match. It's definitely not the greatest main event of any fight. Like it's not.
It's not
it
even a
didn't live
good
up
main
to-
event. That's the problem.
No, yeah,
This heel turn was monumental. I'm sorry, but it was. It was so.
deflating.
It transcended wrestling. It was worldwide. Everyone was talking about. Old fans came back, and what did they come
I
back
was there.
to? But what you were there for the turn, and then
They put the chamber in the dome.
I took that off my bingo and bucket list, Spaz. But what did we get? We got nothing. Fans came back. They came back to see what? Him not be there for 2 weeks and Cody talk to a fucking belt. And then it just went nowhere. You people and no Rock. Rock was the catalyst for the turn. He offered Cody your spot. Cody said no. What if Cody said yes? Were you all going to hug and fuck? Like, what was the plan?
I mean, look.
If Cody said, sure, Rock, I want to be your Hollywood Diddy. And they had a wet, pajama party. Was Cena going to be bottom? I don't think he was going to be bottom, but he was going to hit rock bottom.
Have you seen, Jake, have you seen the cope? Have you seen the cope booking that people are already doing online?
Oh God, I've avoided some of it, but I've seen a few things.
The Rock got in Paul Heyman's ear so that Paul Heyman could bring Seth Rollins into the fold.
I mean, there might genuinely be something there, right? There's like a little inkling. Maybe
there could be something there.
Maybe Seth is just fucking being a troll, playing into everyone, and none of it is really,
okay. On some random show, if we get Rock, Cena, and Rollins versus Punk, Cody, and Roman, I'll take it. But it's got to be one show.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that.
One and done.
So here, I'm looking for the file. There's the file, right? So everything that Seth's been doing, it pretty much mimics what we've seen from The Rock. And he even mimicked the famous fanny pack outfit with the chain. I mean, he had that one. That one I caught on to, but look at all the times that he had The Rock's complete ensemble. So if this gets him out of the fruity dress and goddamn gigantic red shoe wearing thing, I'm all for it. Drives me nuts. And it's not, it's just because what it is it's a character that makes no goddamn sense. He comes out there, he cackles like the Joker. People go, oh, and he says frickin' a lot.
You know what though? to be fair,
at least when he was the Kingslayer, it made sense.
Seth Rollins is the only one whose entrance got Def Rebel to hell, and he made it work because he got the crowd to sing the shitty Def Rebel theme.
Don't wait. That's a point for Seth, not a point for Def Rebel.
No, I'm saying I'm giving the point to Seth.
I'm giving his own, for help getting his own music over. He's like, well, shit, I gotta work on that.
Well, because he had the other Burn It Down song before where it was like a guitar riff almost, and then there was this that was just like it sounds like voices put through a distortion pedal or something like that. So the crowd did something with it, but he made the shittiest music ever, like kind of good by default,
by just having it work. Yeah, that is a funny way that it all came down. And Pico's like, at least we didn't see the stupid rock belt. Oh God, because Travis has that dumbass replica hardcore belt that looks like a toy that's broken and more than it should be. And Cena's got the undisputed, so they're all three gonna come out holding the title if we see them together. Wonderful. Rest of Slayer, it was just Kerry King. Yeah, that was
with all the
an
belts
amazing
on the line
entrance.
in that 3-on-3 match. Oh man.
For all the marbles, for one real title, and two, make the people feel like their ego is in check.
So what was the best match of the night then?
The Drew match was a lot of fun. That street or Sin City street fight, whatever, that was damn good.
I told you it would be better than I told you it would be better than a lot of people expected.
Yes, that was really good.
I was looking forward to it as a match before they even made it make sense.
I like the finish.
The Claymore into the chair.
Yeah, that was good shit.
I am totally convinced that Drew McIntyre can't have a match anymore without cutting up his back.
Yes,
no shit.
The spot at the Hell in the Cell was a lot worse, but
I was really happy with the IC title match. Honestly, the story told. Carlito got torn in half again. Yes, you nailed that certainly, and I jumped on. I loved how he went for the 619. Finn catches him, and he's like, oh, and they start beating the hell out of him, and just escalated.
I do recall somebody in one of the previews. I can't remember who it was, but this person made a hell of a prediction that Dominic Mysterio at some point might put a mask back on.
Yeah, right.
I can't remember who that was.
He took it off again.
He took it off to wrestle, but I'm saying no. When he goes face, I said it would be cool if he like did a mask, like not hey I'm a masked wrestler now, but like hey I've reunited with my dad. I want to show respect to my dad's ways. And caveat, roll it over into another topic because I wasn't here yesterday. I'm sure everybody online is being very, very normal right now about WWE buying AAA.
Well, you know what's hilarious? I'm excited. I want to see what happens. I mean, they do have Alberto Del Rio, El Patron down there, but I love how Dave Meltzer, after the news comes out, he's like, oh, I knew about this for weeks. Like, this is old.
Couldn't say anything.
Yeah, I couldn't bring it up. Like he wouldn't have blabbed that all over the world. Nobody knew that Joe Hendry was there today. People assumed, people guessed, but no one reported that Joe Hendry was the replacement for Kevin Owens.
Do you know what I appreciate though?
So,
in all honesty,
that they're not getting shit out and they're keeping secrets. I like that.
No. I appreciate a small underdog grassroots company like WWE exposing me to brand new stars like Vikingo.
Yes, brand new.
Who's actually competing in Ultimate X at Rebellion next weekend. So the timing is awesome.
Hey, I'm really excited for about the AAA announcement. Now, I think I made a joke in our chat where I said like, say hola to NXT Mexico. Like, but I don't think
that's basically what it is.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I hope not. I think Triple H has enough respect and honor for like the lineage and the history that AAA has down there that they would. And I think I've heard early talks of they're gonna just keep it as it is. They're not gonna change the promotion, which I'm all in favor of.
They're basically letting them just take the reins still, but I heard it was just like, hey, we have
it'll be another feeder
yes, exactly. Yeah. So the rumor is NXT Mexico, which not directly, but what they want to do is turn it, like they said, into a developmental thing. Really quickly, everybody was expecting Rusev, but we got his lawyer. That was what? Joe Hendry was Rusev's lawyer.
Oh fuck yeah,
shit, that's right.
Shit.
So
okay, so here's the roundabout point that I was trying to make, because WWE for the longest time in the Vince era, because people are still chasing the ghost of Vince, they don't work with anybody, they don't help anybody, they don't even acknowledge that anybody else exists. Okay, WrestleMania Night 1, we've got AAA's Vikingo in the WrestleMania ring. WrestleMania Night 2, we've got TNA's World Champion in a match in the center of the ring.
Yes.
So I don't know about you guys. I loved everything about that. I thought that was a great, and I know Spaz, you called that one very well done. And I love
Joe Hendry?
Yeah, the Joe Hendry one. I love it. I see nothing wrong with anything that happened in that match.
No, it was for fun.
It did its job. It was a fun little.
There's no heat. Well,
finish
you
was
were having you were having sound issues a second ago, but like all I said was there's no heat because they don't have a feud.
Yeah,
It's an exhibition.
sadly. And that's what it was. And
No, but that's a good thing. Like it's
yeah,
just an
no, it wasn't a
exhibition.
bad thing. It worked. I'm not saying it's a bad thing by any means. It's just like the things clicked tonight. The women's triple threat to start the show was white hot. Excellent action. Even though I'm not a fan of Bianca Belair, her like the role, I don't dislike her. I just don't like the role she plays. She's got that damn weapon for friggin' hair that drives me nuts.
It breaks wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it's no DQ, so they can call it a weapon finally. I know, and now Cole was like, oh, her hair is used as a weapon.
The one match where it's actually okay, but that doesn't exclude the rest of the time where it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, where she's leaving welts on people. But all right. Damn, the spots they got out of that at times were incredible.
You guys hear me still?
Yes, we can.
All right, cool. Just make sure. Shit.
Making sure. You don't want to talk forever and not be heard.
Oh, God damn it. I'm trying to remember where we were before this matchup. Before we go into the Bianca stuff.
We were talking about the IC titles. So we were.
Oh, yes. So I thought that was the best outcome where he really, because obviously this is just another like wedge for the Judgment Day. This is going to end that whole rivalry. Breaker still is protected. Penta's protected. Oh, the AAA thing too. The AAA announcement. I think that's going to open up a lot of doors for like some, like, I mean, Jesus Christ, I didn't realize how many like lucha or Latino, or Hispanic wrestlers they had in the company until they lined them up like that.
Exactly.
Basically the two different legatos.
Bring out your luchadors. Bring out your luchadors. They lined them up like Nacho Libre.
I went back and watched the announcement, and Connor, I know I just cut you off. I'm sorry, but I watched the announcement, and they used on the kickoff of night one, and they used that to transition into Ray telling everybody that he wasn't in the match because he was injured, and I'm like, oh, that's a good thing and then a bad thing.
Yeah.
But they swapped out one Ray for another because they all look the same,
and it works, right?
I mean, they all look the same because they're wearing masks. Don't get weird.
We were doing the watch along over on the Horny Goat channel, shout out. And
nice.
It's funny, during the Jey Uso match, we were watching like, did they screw up? They put the wrong transition cut logo, and they did. They put the Survivor Series logo.
Oh, for War Games, they did it more than once.
Twice,
yeah. See,
so if you watch
twice, I thought it was more.
Oh,
that's funny. That's funny.
For those of you watching, if you watch the Jey Uso World Title match after he wins the title and do like the replays right after he wins it,
the transition to the replay.
The transitions are one of the Survivor Series War Games in Canada.
It is specifically the War Games from Canada logo too.
It's like, okay, sure.
Who was it that wore a cup when China kept low blowing them, and then she went?
Was it Shamrock?
I think it was Shamrock. I want to say that's who my first guess was, because Pico just said Cody should have wore a cup, and that's definitely one comment I wanted to touch on too. And then Coot, you're right. Balor is eating pins, but we knew that was going to happen here. Again, like last night, night one, we didn't really talk much on Spaz, but the thing I enjoyed with some of what we got, even though it wasn't a great night, they did manage to have no one really look weak in defeat for the most part. Like they still elevated people, and for the most part, not with everything. For the most part, you said, but like this IC title match was damn great. Everybody in that match, Braun Breaker doesn't look weak. He didn't get pinned. He didn't get defeated. He just got basically out.
Braun Breaker spent most of the match winning a 3-on-1 handicap match.
Basically, yeah, fucking people up and then adding extra bodies to his, his rap sheet.
The match did everything you wanted it to do. It furthered the wedge of the Judgment Day. It got it basically rewarding Dom for the massive amount of heat that he gets on a fucking daily basis.
Yes.
Penta stays protected. Braun stays protected. That's why I'm like, oh, Dom winning would make the most sense, especially if he pins Finn, because Finn's the one who's like fucking irked with him, and he's like, this kid, and like, you fucking asshole, like, and all that shit. So yeah, it would make the most sense that.
Yeah.
Do you know who I really feel good for though? In all honesty, and I know it'll tie into the AAA stuff. It'll tie into the Lucha stuff. But I really got to feel good for Penta and Ray, just from an educational point of view. This is what it's like to play to both sides of the arena. It's really nice. Ray, not under the best circumstances, but getting thrown into night one at the last minute is like, you're gonna have the biggest match of your life. You're gonna have the biggest match of your life.
Cena just did the mic drop.
Notice.
What a waste. Yeah, 20 hours notice, exactly. You got to go ahead and have your Mania match here and now. Oh, I figured Cena would come out to the press conference and do the same silent mic drop bullshit. That feels contrived now and tired.
Yeah.
Well, the Cena stuff. There's still some potential there. It really just depends on who the next opponents are and how they. It's all going to depend on how they.
It looks like it's supposed to be Randy Orton.
It's Orton because
They're
Backlash
St.
is in
Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell this right now for anybody who out there is listening for me with whatever power my breath or word can carry out to the internet. This is the easiest shit to book. I swear to all that is holy. I will be so mad if you fuck this up. It is so goddamn easy. Cena, Orton. I mean, for God's sakes, you don't need to write shit.
All
Just
you do
let
is
them
switch
go.
the history. Exactly. Now,
Don't switch the history. Point out the fact that this will be like it'll be because of the dynamic. I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
You don't have to switch anything.
This is paint by numbers, and there's 2 numbers. This shouldn't be too fucking hard.
1 and 2. But here's the thing, though, right? Like the beautiful thing about this, and trust me to look at both sides of it, right? Because Randy Orton versus John Cena was a match we were sick of 10 years ago, right? But John Cena was never the heel, right?
That's what I was trying to get at with my stoner talking. When I say switch the history, I'm saying switch their roles is what I was going for.
No,
but
the beautiful thing about this, is it's like their 100th match and their first match all at once.
Well, yeah, exactly, because it's a whole new dynamic. We have face Orton and heel Cena, and they are both slow though. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at is that, like, yeah, the Cena heel turn at this point has been very mid, as the kids like to say, at best.
I gotta believe if you didn't have the heart issues, I think you could get the triple threat, throw Triple H in there one more time.
However,
I was in the hospital when he was in the hospital. You know, he was down the hall from me.
Yeah.
I was in the same ward. You know, and
Cena has a litany of opponents with tons of history waiting for him down the barrel that you could literally pick and choose from as far as who you want. I think obviously the 2 instantly that you can make money off of without a doubt is Punk and Orton, and you know those are going to happen. So
what about Roman? Face Roman, heel Cena. That's
okay, but
point.
Jay, to the point that you've made to me a bunch of times, and you're correct in saying this. Roman, as much as people love him, he's never actually turned face.
Yeah, he didn't apologize. He didn't.
I mean, he got even more sympathy after last night, but
it's granted, but
he's never actually.
The whole time he was basically being a heel. He was telling Paul, like, "How dare you turn on me?" Like he couldn't understand. He couldn't have any type of sympathy for Paul. Like he was just selfish. And
yeah, but hold on.
The funny thing is
Cena's never beaten
Roman,
though.
The betrayal of Roman is going to bring Punk. The betrayal of Heyman is going to bring Punk and Roman on the same page again.
Yeah,
and they were already kind of on the same page at War Games.
I don't know about that.
They
were viewing each other's pain last night. They seemed up like upset because they were looking at each other like they're going through the same shit.
Exactly.
Did you bring that up real fast? The one thing that I noticed, and I don't know if you guys caught this too with the whole Heyman thing, since we're just kind of bouncing around on some subjects.
Sure.
Heyman's demeanor was different with each one of them.
Yeah.
So you had obviously Heyman as CM Punk, the best friend, like, my friend, you know, I'm here for you, and then he does the low blow. Then he instantly switches to wise man. Yes, my tribal chief, I will not betray you, my tribal chief, and hands him the chair, and then he low blows him. And then when he goes with Seth, it's kind of this like cock of the walk. I got a very like 1990s ECW vibe for him, where he's like, like walking like that, like he's out there with
the
his
swagger.
Yeah,
exactly. He had that Riz back. Exactly.
Yeah.
I wish they never showed us anything with Seth. I wish Seth never stomped him. I wish Seth never interacted with. I wish this was a total blindside. I wish they did not tell it, because it was so obvious. It could have been amazing if we didn't expect it, because they made it. They didn't need to make it obvious. They didn't even. I wish Seth never talked to Paul, never threatened him, never did. Oh, now you owe me. Like it was like gun to the head. You know what's coming. Foregone conclusion.
I would have been fine with the face. I would have been fine with the face smush thing that he did, but the whole like stomp and like the oh, you me a face. That is. And I pray that this is not part of that bullshit. I pray to God.
But I
just
like
part of it.
I want to kind of piggyback on Connor's point for a second. Is he has three different the way, at least the way he's presenting itself right now. Because if you look at the way he relates to all three of them, with CM Punk, it's a friendship. With Roman, it's almost like a servitude. With Rollins, it feels like a business deal.
Yeah,
And
I
those
agree with that.
Those dynamics are different. And with Heyman, like, I don't care how much credit you give this guy, it's not enough. He sells so much with his face. He sells so much with his, like,
He's my fucking wrestling idol, obviously.
show up on a wrestling. Remember when he was falling out between like Brock and Roman, and he let himself go, and his eyes were bloodshot, and he hadn't shaved, and he was a mess. And
and he had the whole exactly.
He's a genius.
There's so much to
Tone
it.
of his voice too, like, no, my tribal chief, I can't do that. Like,
he goes on to something. He said that Seth's favor was just a total written. I mean, that's a little gross, but I mean, it makes sense.
I think it's funny because he owns the scene, and he can manipulate anybody because he's so good at simultaneously having everybody in the palm of his hand and also simultaneously becoming the most pathetic guy in the room, where you see him as a non-factor.
Yeah, he has a range of emotions that he's able to portray depending on how his character needs to be introduced as the cog in the wheel to get the story going for the other characters and other gimmicks.
But it's also he's doing what's best for him overall. So if he has to be a whining, sniveling rat that I'm so sorry, he's gonna beg and get his way out of it, and then later on, I know Brock's gonna kick your ass if you come to me, so I can threaten you now. And now the vibrato comes out. There's so many onions, layers, and ogres.
And when he needed to be off TV, he needed to be off TV, and he had the time to breathe and let things, develop naturally. The one thing I will say though is that with this Paul Heyman situation with Seth, is that, and this is just me, respectfully, Seth don't need no Heyman. He doesn't need Paul Heyman.
No.
Which is why it makes me more interested in this more than anything else, because I genuinely do not believe it's going to be a situation like, okay, now Paul Heyman is now the manager or Wiseman or whatever the fuck his new confidant, fluffer, whatever his title is going to be to Seth Rollins. Whatever his title is going to be to Seth Rollins, I don't think it's going to be that. Listen,
I'm sorry, you popped me with fluffer.
Fluffer, it's definitely,
But I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be a different relationship, and I think it's more so just, again, like Seth, like twisting the dagger of like,
Connor,
hey,
you nailed it.
Both of you.
Exactly, because what happens here is the same reason why Roman got paired with Paul in the first place. Punk got put with him for storyline purposes. He didn't need him. They just added him for the same reason they added him to Roman, to make him a credible heel. Fans were still not wanting to really boo CM Punk when he turned heel on The Rock. Remember?
But people
and the fans
people don't see Heyman as a heel anymore. That's the problem.
We're
at that like sort of.
But in 2020, he was with Brock up until then. He was with Brock until Brock got defeated at Mania by Drew, and then Paul was gone. And then we saw him come back at SummerSlam with Roman, and he was Roman's mouthpiece. Why? Because Vince was nervous that Roman would kind of flounder a bit on the mic as a heel at first, and he wanted to also give him a instant credibility, because if you were with Brock, who ended the streak, who was the eat, sleep, conquer, repeat suplex machine, now if he's backing you, then you really must be the new guy. So that was the goal of it.
But this is where I'm going with this. We're on the other side of kayfabe now. Where people are recognizing that Heyman is so good at what he's doing, even when he's coming out there to be the shittiest heel in the world, he's getting cheered. People are doing the ladies and gentlemen, my name is whatever. To the point, how did they turn Solo perma heel? He put his hands on Heyman.
Yes,
you're not.
You are not my tribal chief.
Yeah, somehow.
You're not booing Solo for assaulting Heyman if Heyman's a heel.
Exactly.
That's the problem. Now,
but he was a heel up until Cody finished the story, and then he came back. But he was such a babyface.
But he was such a babyface that Roman got a pop for coming back and avenging him.
Yes. And
here's
but it took that turn to happen. Exactly. So it's crossed that bridge now. But
Heyman is not the star of the show, right? He is not the main protagonist. He is the supporting character. He's the supporting actor. He's the supporting player in this giant.
But he's probably the most important supporting character WWE has.
Correct, but at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what he's going to be. He's still going to be that supporting role. So the idea is that you have to figure out, like I said, if Heyman is paired with Seth as like his manager again, fluffer, whatever you want to call him, what scares me to death about that, besides the obvious, is dry mouth, is the problem of it now turns Paul Heyman's like services into a fucking championship where it's like past the Heyman.
Yeah.
And it's and I hate that idea.
See, here's where I think
who needs the rub next?
You may
Buy your Paul.
Giggity.
Paul for
but
sale. Paul for sale.
Here's where I think you may be a little off the point. I could be wrong as well, but here's how I'm picturing it, right? 2 years in a row now. Then I got to go around the houses to get to my point here. 2 years in a row now, they've teased us with the idea of a Punk Cody Rhodes feud, right?
Yep.
And the obvious thing is like we get to laugh at TK because TK could have had this on his card, but he fucked up and blah 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 blah. Right now,
story of the weekend.
Now with the
Tony Fumble Rumble.
Tony Fumble Rumble is going to happen.
It's coming.
It already happened. Kind of happened at Stand and Deliver. Oi oi oi. But anyways, that's another story for another day. So he's already got this thing, like he's twice, like once a year since he's come back, he's sort of hinted at / silently promised this feud that he's going to have with Cody, potentially over a title. Now Cena has that title. Who has more history than CM Punk with John Cena, other than maybe Randy Orton, right?
Yeah.
So my prediction, crazy as it might be, after we get the WrestleMania afters out of the way, I'm pretty sure Punk's going to SmackDown, which leaves us with Roman, which I think is going to leave us with Roman on Raw. They're finally going to do the actual penultimate Roman Rollins feud properly, and it's not going to be a matter of Rollins needs Heyman. It's going to be the mind fuck of Rollins took Heyman away from Roman, and then as soon as Rollins gets his ultimate victory over Roman, he's going to discard Heyman the same way he discarded the Shield.
And don't forget that on Raw you also have a new champion in the name of Jey Uso. Roman goes to Raw. He still wants a belt.
It's true.
I mean, to run that back, that's who should have beat Roman, right? That's who was originally set up. We've gone through this.
I already told you who's going to face Jay as his first challenger at Backlash.
I know.
It's going to be the 5 stars in the Tokyo Dome match that we've all been wanting for years and years and years. It's going to be Jey Uso versus Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. Okay. I know you too well.
But after he beat AJ, it's a great step. Fuck it, I'll take it.
He's a former TNA champion, a former WWE.
So hold on. So, I don't know. So Jey Uso is world champion. First off, let me just say this. I think Gunther needs to go away for a while.
Especially after he tapped out.
I hated the finish.
I was suggesting that he just goes over to SmackDown.
Yeah, I would say so.
Which I also agree with, but I think he needs
a bit of a break. Yeah, they need to let him cool off. I mean, they let everybody and their fucking mother pass out on NXT, on TNA. Like, why could he not have gone out as a fighting champion?
Tapping out is a bigger moment. But I think.
Quick? I mean, he barely had the.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, he's like.
Have been that quick because I think.
I'm gonna stick up for Gunther. I'm gonna stick up for Gunther here. He didn't quite tap out as fast as Mox did when he lost the Trios title that wasn't really his on Dynamite Super Fuck You Bischoff edition.
Don't bring that company into this fucking conversation.
Don't you start.
You'll film this channel. So no, but going back real quick,
they were talking about Mox. They were talking about Mox during the triple threat match.
They were.
No, I'm a big fan of Gunther. Mox. I'm a big fan of Gunther, but I'll be honest with you, like the last few months of his world title reign has been very tough for me to kind of get behind, and I think that it's just a situation where it's like too much too quick, and he got the belt way too fast. So I want him.
I don't think it was that. Yeah. I know exactly. I can almost guarantee you I know what happened. It's when Cody beat him, after that, he had this like self-doubt story arc, and he just kept kind of stumbling. He would make it through matches, but it was like, oh, he barely got out of that one. He's still defending, but oh, he's lacking the confidence that he needs now because he lost to Cody. And it was like, the fuck, Gunther? Like he's having anxiety. Gunther?
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow. I think that there's still some mileage in him as far as like being a somewhat top player or like around the main event.
Yeah,
he needs to be taken off of like TV. Like have him do a thing on Raw where he's like ashamed and embarrassed and he just like walks away and then he's like gone. Like I want him off until like SummerSlam at the minimum. Like I want him away.
Oh my god, do you know what would be great? Especially because like Kaiser was nowhere near WrestleMania. The only time he ever got mentioned was in Charlotte Flair's DMs.
Yep.
I would love for Gunther to come back and be like, yeah, it was a fluke, da 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 da, this and that. I would love for Kaiser to come and like dress him down and be like, look at how badly you spoke to us. You spoke to us so badly, one of us isn't even here anymore. Every time we had the slightest failure,
it was just going down.
I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but Kaiser's getting over.
He is.
He absolutely is.
I was
Kaiser,
gonna say,
like, since he's kind of he needs to get his own entrance because his entrance is like
he's in Charlotte's DMs. Don't forget that he's still in her DMs.
The only man to ever be. The only man to ever be accused of cheating and nobody believed it.
What I was gonna say was, it should be really a fun gag would be as if Ludwig Kaiser's like interviewed, he's like, you really want to know who's in my DMs? And it shows his DMs and he has them all empty. The only DM is from fucking Gunther with a fucking heartbreak emoji.
Yeah, that's it.
Title WrestleMania, and that's the only DM in his entire.
Okay, I'll tell you something. All right, okay, because it's always a win when you can get somebody who's not a wrestling fan into wrestling, right?
Yeah, that's always the goal.
It's always the goal, right?
Blanket party.
I've told Jake, my young brother is slowly getting over into it because now that it's on Netflix, it's more accessible, and he's got a couple of friends that watch it, so he's getting into it now, right?
Yeah.
He messaged me with an idea that he had read somewhere that somebody posted on like a hey, what if this happened type thing.
Yeah.
And the idea was to turn the Charlotte and Tiffany match into a Kaiser's phone on a pole match. The winner got to open up the phone. The winner got to open
DMs.
The winner got to open up the phone and check the DMs. The only DM on the phone is from Rhea. She puts herself in the match, wins both titles, and leaves both WrestleMania with both titles.
Hey.
Was the username of this submitted idea under like come at me bro Russo at gmail.com?
God, bro.
I have sources. My source is # trust me bro.
Trust me, bro.
But
I
was just
this.
like, what? Because as soon as it was like, okay, yeah, do something on a poll, Kaiser's phone on a poll, whatever. And it's like, yeah, and then have Rhea Ripley be the one in the DMs. Because first of all, let's be real. If I can steal an Adam Nicholas expression for a second, if it was Rhea Ripley would chuck Ludwig Kaiser around like an empty tracksuit.
Oh, absolutely. See,
death by snoo snoo.
Snoo, yeah, absolutely. She's got a sniz in her snoo. Anyway, I
think she sneezed bigger things than Ludwig Kaiser.
And you think, isn't Tiffy like the younger version of Charlotte? Whoever goes for the older model that's got, broken plastic door. Never mind. Anyway,
you know what? She might be a classic, but I'll still take her for a test drive.
She
the
looks
exhaust doesn't work.
She looks like a total new woman. She was kind of unrecognizable several times in this build, and I do not mean that meanly.
Actually, nobody is allowed to shag Charlotte Flair.
Really?
What?
Because parts of her are younger than 16.
Oh, that's an old one.
My god,
that's an old one. It's great.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
It's an old one, but not old enough. Oh, Spaz.
Oh, fuck!
So,
I'm gonna die.
I know I don't have you gents all night. I know Connor's clock is ticking, and I really want to know.
Yeah.
Pico asked before. He's like, "What happened to Bailey? Does she have like a bleeding cunt issue, or like, where did she go? Why?
Becky said that's not gonna work for me.
Yeah, and then they won the fucking titles from Liv when Dominic just won the belt.
Wait, and you know the part
Judgment
that
Day
really
had
makes
the
me
belts. Why?
I told you this. I told you this. Remember yesterday? I
I
told you this.
know.
I had a bad feeling if it was Becky. I'm like,
You
I know
did.
that.
You said it.
I'm
You
like, it's
said it.
WWE though. They're gonna fucking
I-
fuck something up.
I
They're
kind of
gonna
giggled.
give Dom the belt.
I have
Liv's
a
gonna get-
theory. I
Oh,
have a
God.
theory because
hold on,
Finn also wanted to go for the IC title, right? He didn't get it. Dom got it instead.
Yeah.
Liv may have lost the tag titles, but if she gets the ladies
Liv.
IC title, they can both look at Finn and be like, "We can both get an Intercontinental title. What's
Well,
your
because-
problem?"
So
Even though
Jackie Redmond asked her
Raquel is
about,
supposed to be
them
going for
getting
that title.
physical.
Yeah,
what I was
right.
gonna say-
Jackie
what I was gonna
Redmond
say-
asked him about her getting physical, and Liv's like, anyway, Dom's the Intercontinental Champion. So
Yeah.
one
that's
thing
the
I kind
only
of
thing
get.
that-
I'm not gonna lie, and I was gonna tweet this out, but I was still stoned, way too stoned at this time. But I basically was like, okay, Becky Lynch is the replacement for Bayley. Cool, okay, big pop, they win the championships. Like, that's neat. Hey, on a completely unrelated note, for no reason whatsoever, why were Jade Cargill and Naomi feuding?
Right.
The exact same fucking reason.
Same reason, because Bailey got taken out in the parking lot too, and we don't know who done it. Right? Isn't that the whole?
Like,
Oh,
you didn't even-
it wasn't Liv.
Yeah.
It wasn't Raquel.
It was
No, they're
probably
innocent.
Naomi.
You just
Well, because
finished this feud. You just finished this story.
Naomi's also mad about being a former tag team champion. So,
Mm.
and she's already learned how to pin it on Liv and Raquel just because they happen to be. Never mind.
Yeah.
Carlito learned Chinese for that. I'm telling
Oh
you.
my
Man,
God,
can I,
that was
can I
so
say
good.
that
People
that
got so
spear
mad.
was very nice.
That spear was excellent. He's only gotten him just better and better every time. I thought he broke Carlito's spine in half with that. It was
I don't know if you guys-
fucking hilarious.
I don't know if you guys saw this either, but like, so I think the spear that went viral for him was
Yeah.
what, like the
The
not the
missile?
Raw before Mania, yeah,
Yeah.
not the Raw before Mania, but it was like the one before that.
Yes.
When he got
someone-
Carlito
I
on the
guess-
ramp.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was gonna say, and then like Carlito turned it into a meme where like it's a long shot of him like taking a selfie, but Braun Breaker's way in the back, and Carlito just looks absolutely like he's gonna shit himself. Fucking hilarious!
I
am
like that
so happy
Carlito
he's back.
put the picture up of him actually like being speared, like the
Yeah.
spear that everybody
Yeah.
memed the hell out of, and he just posted it, and he's like, "I'm actually dead. Please send flowers to my parents.
Yeah.
At this address."
Yeah, he said he's like, thank you for
I
all
asked Carlito.
all the
I asked
thoughts and
Carlito for an
prayers.
update. He posted me on his story saying he's wasted. So
That's a good update from Carlito at this point.
He posted on the spear video when they posted on WWE. It said like, "Thank you for all your thoughts and prayers. My funeral is this Friday.
Yeah.
We please ask for your privacy during these tough
Well,
times."
on the go home Raw, they went ahead and he was standing in the same spot when Braun Breaker
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out, and he
Fucked
booked
off.
ass
He
into
jumped
the
over.
ring, and then he jumped way out of the way. He was like, "Fuck!" And then he still got speared. So it was funny as all hell. Yeah,
Carlito's got a pretty sweet gig right now. You gotta admit that. Like he hardly ever
does.
wrestles unless he's wrestling on house shows.
And
He just
Also-
like
he's like
takes shit.
he's
from
like
people.
another R-Truther or whatever.
Yeah,
Also,
I think
listen to
Shell was
Mark
onto
Anthony.
something. I think Shell was onto something. She said Becky did it. Maybe Becky that didn't work
Hey.
for her brother. She wanted to be in Mania, but I don't know. Like you hear stories all the time, and Triple H could have said, "Hey Bailey, I need you to take one for the team. You won the title last year after getting the Rumble. I want to
Yeah.
bring Becky back, and I think this will be a good
We
way
said-
to do
we
it
said
as a
you were from Egypt.
surprise."
It's fine.
Lyra's a
But,
bird. She's cocooned in the hallways. Fucking help me. It's like the bitch is leaving feathers in my office. I can't fucking take this.
This thing shits.
She's
so much.
molting. Help me with this.
This thing shits so much. I don't even know. Unfortunately, gentlemen, I got to depart for the
Oh,
evening.
sir.
But,
Did you know who Lyra's favorite, wrestler was growing up?
Oh no.
It
Cody
was,
Beware?
no, it was a boogeyman. He ate worms and fucking. Oh, it's a
my
bad
God.
bird joke. God damn it, Connor.
She's bird lady. She's bird lady 2 belts now. though.
I thought you were gonna say the gobbledygooker.
No, she hates turkeys.
No, she does all her gooking backstage.
That's the plot.
Nom nom nom.
Anyway, you
I,
guys
I always get
Sir.
stuck with the bill.
I'm so glad you got to hang out tonight, night two. We got to hear some of your takes. We will catch you throughout the week, hopefully. But tell the lovely people in the audience where they can find you, sir.
all the main handles. I'm just kind of doing rando content. So it's at Super Nerd CM613. I'll throw it in the chat before I hop off as well. Again,
It's
rando,
in the
just
description
content.
box down below. I made sure everybody's links is in there so you can see his gaming channel. You got the at Horny Goat guys over there. You got your Super Nerd content, and then also your Twitter link is there. So we got Cody stuff, we got Spaz's stuff. And then you know, we got it working. The audio, they don't need to fucking hear you, but your links are there. So
Yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it greatly.
Hey, pleasure is all mine, gentlemen. You guys have a good night, and as they say in Canada, peace out.
Absolutely. Yes, shortly we'll be taking some more people in.
Gonna hit you with the bagged milk.
Yeah, I'll let you. I'll get your snippet. All right. We didn't really go through it with this night, and I kind of want to just layer it out quick. Io, Bianca, Rhea, they opened the show. Amazing entrances from these three. Loved Rhea's look. It's just goddamn. You know, the like face skeleton crown she had. All of it was great. I'm surprised the champion came out first.
I got to give credit to somebody over in the Wrestling for Life. I think it was Big Nick mentioned that her headpiece was actually a comic book reference to the Batman Who Laughs, like basically the evil Joker Batman from one of the older comics.
Yeah.
So if that's true, I don't know if that is true, but it was a good call out if they happen to be correct. But yeah, the headpiece is always, oh, she's just trying to be Triple H. It's like, no, she's trying to do something cool. Like,
yeah,
what?
she's just trying to have a little fun over here, you know. But Triple H booked Triple H, so we'll see what happens. I'm, you know, I am genuinely high on not just marijuana, but night 2 of WrestleMania. Overall, I think tonight was definitely the better night. That's an easy pick, but with the content they gave us, like I said, these women, they left it all out there in the ring. There was so many incredible sequences, like the KOD into like everything in the corner. It was like just the triple submission. So my scribbled notes.
For a second,
yes.
Let's just pretend that night 1's main event was tonight, and we can have a happy.
Absolutely. We'll just even if they, like you said before, even if they had Jay on this one, the Cena thing shouldn't have closed it out when it was that way. They really had, you know, they were booing Bianca. People were getting upset. I'm like, Jesus, we're not in France anymore, guys. What are you doing here? They're gonna think you're racist. But the triple submission was really cool.
People on Twitter are really not like aware that people don't have to like the person you like.
It's an acquired taste, Spaz.
Have you heard the new term that they're coming up with now? Just because they get tired of calling people racist and sexist, so they're just saying it's massage noir now. Like it's new words every day. New words every day. New word salad every day.
Every day, exactly.
They borrowed Kamala Harris's word salad bowl.
YouTube lets you pick your pronouns now, and you can post that to your followers. So come on, hey.
Oh, good.
Didn't let me pick helicopter.
I couldn't care less about that, but like you're allowed to not like somebody. Everybody fuck off. Yes, I'm glad that Bianca lost. Yes, I'm glad that Naomi lost.
So Io got kicked in the head by Rhea at one point in time in this match. She got hit so damn hard, but she sold it so well. She actually looked like she had like an instant concussion. The girl sold her ass off. Io made every hit feel believable. The triple like 3-man suplex in the corner off the top rope was nuts. That got a bunch of great "this is awesome" chants. Io hitting that missile drop kick was probably one of the cleanest missile drop kicks I've ever seen. That girl is accurate as a nuclear missile. I mean, Ripley hoisted up Io Sky at one point, and she went to go, and she just launched her with the razor's edge right at Bianca. That was great.
That was a pretty good spot. One spot, and because I'm being pretty much a dickhead to Bianca, I do want to give credit because I don't think this quite went the way they wanted it to, but it was a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Was when Rhea Ripley had Io Sky in the Prism Lock.
Yes.
And Bianca Belair tried to turn it into a KOD. I think it kind of fell apart on them, but I want to give them like half credit.
Yeah.
That was a really cool idea, and if it had worked, it would have been sick.
Because they were going for the triple submission there. I liked the idea of it, and So basically, so this whole sequence was great. So Rhea goes ahead and she takes down Bianca with the first Riptide, and Bianca kicks out at 2. So you see Io come down, and she gets put up for the Riptide, but she gets out of it, and she ends up kicking her with a boot to the head, and that's the one I was talking about before that knocked her silly. So now Rhea gets up on the second rope, and she pulls Sky up for the Riptide, but she counters out of it. And next thing you know, she's down on the ground. She's going for her moonsault, but Rhea puts her feet up and launches her forward into the KOD. And then, so Bianca hits the KOD, and then Sky's being pinned, but then Ripley breaks it up. The crowd went fucking ballistic. That was incredible. The flow of it, I'm doing a poor job explaining it, but the way they just went from like Riptide to the moonsault to, the feet were up, it launched her into the KOD that led to the pin that was broken up. Goddamn. Everything was executed in the most precise manner. I'm so happy that Io retained. She certainly deserved it. I would have liked to have seen Rhea win, but there's more meat on the bone here. It was a great, solid opening match. It delivered in the best way possible, and it was just shy of like 15 minutes as well. So this is a great way to open a show. Granted, Jay and Gunther was hype as far as like the will he do it, and the match didn't really live up to opening Mania standards. You want to hit him hard, and that's not what we got here. So right away we were like, that match got me going. That got me pumped. You know, there was no pre-show matches or anything, so that first match had to be a banger, and it was a certified one.
I want to say, because I know people are making the comparisons between night 1 and night 2.
Yeah.
Night 1 was a feel. Night 2 was a think for the first matches of the night, because Jay, I've been saying since the Bloodline, you've been tired of me saying it, Jay should have like crumbled the Bloodline. I still stick to that if you want to go with how the story went. But the whole story of him becoming main event Jey Uso, even though he won his main event in the first match of the night, was like a feel thing. And it was one of those like, I don't care if the match falls apart. I don't care if there's some logic gaps or whatever. I want to feel something really cool. And I got to feel something really cool. With the ladies match in the first night of night 2,
Yeah.
it was, I'm a fan of Rhea. I like Io. I don't think Bianca makes sense in the match in the first place.
No.
If I want to go with my biases, would I pick Ripley? Yes. Am I happy that Io Sky won, though, because she was really getting the shaft and really being like the third person in her own title match?
Yeah.
I like that they went with Io, even though it's not the person that I would have chosen. So that's one I was thinking. It's like, okay, what do I think about this? The first match of night 1 was, yes, that's fucking awesome. And that's the difference. That's why I would lean towards the night 1 opener.
Okay.
Not to say anything negative about the ladies of night 2.
I get your point. Hey, and that's why I love wrestling, because it's all subjective, to each their own. See, I would absolutely take the women's match. And even though I don't care for Bianca, I like the role she played in this. He's popping me constantly, always.
Mr. Pico, night 1 ending was cool. Night 2 ending was AIDS.
He knew. He knew. Io was getting the shaft, and we loved it. That's, and thank you, Stuart. You were too kind for the compliments. I lost a few people. So I was at 630 at my heaviest. I went all the way down to 170, and I was like skeleton, and I looked bad because I was like just all hanging skin and frail bones. So I had to put a little bit of meat back on. So I'm like 230 something now, and it's
there you go. Byron Cutler in the chat. This is my new favorite WrestleMania.
Yeah. Hey, if you have
there's a ringing endorsement.
Exactly. That's what I want to hear. I'm glad people enjoyed it. I'm glad they had fun with it. I really enjoyed this night up until the main event. And the main event didn't kill the show for me. It just killed the main event, if that makes sense. I still was able to.
It wasn't like, to me, it wasn't like we started off the pod with this, but like
it wasn't a heartbreaking disappointment, but.
Yeah, but once I got into that mindset of, okay, this isn't a match, it's a segment.
Yeah,
it changes the entire way I look at it, right? And from that point of view, I can't say it was bad. It was just, it was lost.
And Travis Scott's music
it-
hits. I got to cut you off because it just pisses me off so fucking much. His music hits, and Cody and Cena are sitting in the ring on their ass, just staring to watch this fucking idiot walk to the ring. Why is Cody not still trying to kill John and save his title?
Okay,
They're just sitting there laughing, and Cena's laughing "Oh, you're fucked now." He weighs like what, 90 pounds?
This might sound like a more basic question than anything, right?
Yeah.
But like, how many songs does Travis Scott have?
Beyond what my rap comprehension is, a ton, I'm sure.
Okay,
he's been around for a while, so.
In that case, why does he have to come down to the ring to an entrance that's the same music we've been listening to for 2 days?
Because that's probably the only one they licensed. Realistically, no.
But
I mean, I get your point. Yeah, he should have had another theme song. You shouldn't have the WrestleMania theme song be your entrance theme. But I think they wanted it recognizable.
Shouldn't be the same music that we've been listening to as filler for 2 days.
Yeah, that was his theme though when he came out at the Chamber. So I guess they're trying to mimic that as well and keep it consistently.
That wasn't Elimination Chamber's theme, though.
Exactly. No, I agree entirely.
It's a nitpick, and it doesn't make any more sense.
No.
So I don't know why I'm landing on it, but it was one of those.
Are there even lyrics in that song, or is it all just me? I have no idea. So, again, ladies, awesome. Drew McIntyre had, we didn't even touch on this, but he had an incredibly badass entrance. He was the Doom Slayer. They even mentioned the fucking cacodemons. God damn, that's the floating red orbs of just death in the Doom game. But you see him come out. He's got the armor there. He's got the freaking, piece on his chest. It was cool. No eye patch for Drew. And then we get, Kerry King from Slayer. He comes out, and obviously Damian Priest is hosting a Slayer concert this summer, and they went ahead and Kerry played the guitar. And I've never been I don't like Slayer, surprisingly, like Metallica. I don't like Megadeth. I don't like Slayer. I know, go figure, right? I was never into like more of the thrash speed metal. For some reason, Metallica just clicked with me, but most other bands in that style I didn't care for. And just triplets on the open E chord get. Yeah, it gets boring quick. So thankfully they had just a hell of an entrance for Damian Priest as well. It was badass. The flames, the smoke, all of it. It's just the presentation, Kerry playing the guitar. It sounded great. Just real goth metal. These boys, they beat the fuck out of each other. This was his Drew's 12th WrestleMania and the 4th for Damian Priest. So right away, Drew took the ring steps apart, and he basically brings him, half inside the ring, and that's going to be used. That's, Chekhov's stairs. That's going to come up later on, that Future Shock DDT, goddamn. But basically, they're attacking each other with the stairs.
Have you ever heard the story of how the Future Shock DDT came to be?
No.
Because apparently, this is like him telling the story. When he was doing the 3MB thing, and they were all like dressed like rockers, and he had like the tight leather pants and whatever, he apparently it was the Claymore.
Yeah, the Claymore. Okay.
The Claymore. He went to give somebody a big boot, and the pants were too tight, and both legs came up, and it looked badass. So he started doing it intentionally. Sorry, I got the Claymore and the Future Shock mixed up, but hey, yeah, little funny Drew McIntyre story that
is funny because it just works,
Yep.
I just want to make sure if Shell is listening to everything you're putting out on YouTube, is she taking the proper antibiotics? Because you and I, we got those earworms. It gets a little infectious after a while. You can't get us out of your head. But these guys, like I said,
you can't get my head out of your.
Well, who says I want it out? They say McIntyre is just being. He's being serenaded.
Yes, Mr. Pico, Jade had a nip slip. It's the whole internet has not recovered yet.
I believe it's a pasty though, right? It's just covering her nipples, so it's not even. I know, but what a disappointment, right? It's like, you bitch. Got away with it. She knew it was going to happen. Death by snooze. So these two bastards beating the hell out of each other. McIntyre gets to the outside and he takes a selfie again. Just the same thing he did last year. That got him in trouble, but he basically said, bored at work again, LOL, and that was great. I love his attitude and the things he does, and you know, that's the kind of fun stuff I enjoy. It's not overly silly, but it's part of his character. Eventually, they get into the ring, and Priest hit a huge flip dive all the way out to the floor. That got the crowd going big. And when they got back inside the ring, you heard the fans singing McIntyre's name. They were serenading him again, and he sets up. He's trying to get, you know, the Claymore kick in, but all of a sudden, Priest chucks a fucking chair out of nowhere, and he's able to block it and hit the Claymore kick. I was like, God damn, that was a really cool sequence. So these two they look like, you know, machines fighting at times. They were able to deliver such painful, stiff shots, and eventually,
I mean, it's true for both of them, but people really do forget how agile Damian Priest is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he gets himself all the way up there. McIntyre hit the Future Shock DDT eventually on the piece of the ring steps, as I mentioned earlier, Chekhov's ring steps. Inside the ring, that got another great near fall. Eventually, at the end, he hits a big Claymore kick, and he just completely drove Priest's head against the chair that he had wedged in between the ropes. Pins him.
Nice spot.
Great spot.
Nice spot.
Great way to. That's how you finish a street fight. You know, he's dead. He's out. You just broke his brain. That's about it. Sorry, Drew, but you killed a man. You won WrestleMania, but you're going to jail for life. So that sucks. Granted, this was great. Some people were worried that Priest wasn't selling and he was really fucked up. I think he was selling. I think he was just really, you know, just sending it home hard.
You want to hope he's not fucked up.
I hope he's not legitimately fucked up. I hope he was feigning fucked up. I hope he. But some people were worried. I saw on Twitter because it looked like it was a bit more than selling. But I mean, they really hit each other hard for a lot of it. So this was a great way to follow up the opener. Now at this point in time, the group chat is flowing. What are we saying? 2 for 2. We are 2 for 2 for night 2. Everything is going up, guys.
I will say it's not the winner I would have gone with, but this was the most like I'm leaning 49-51 as far as who I wanted to win. Like I was pretty close on this one.
Yeah.
I think I said it when we did our preview. Like neither one of them, both of them needed the win, but I think Drew McIntyre could have shouldered the loss a bit more than Priest, because all Priest really has is he had the world title run that a lot of people heavily criticized, and he's still defining himself in that main event scene. I don't think this is going to hurt him. Like I say, he's the one I would have picked, but like just by a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think Drew actually needed it more, to be honest with you, because Damian got the upper hand on him a few times, and Drew's been rolled up multiple times now. He needed a win.
His eye was injured. Drew's been beat quite a bit, and I, like I said in the predictions, I thought he needed it more. I'm glad he got the win here. Priest can be recovered really quickly because they had such a great battle. But maybe he's going away for a little bit, sell this for a while. Hopefully he's not injured.
I still want to see Priest hop across over to TNA for a night and have a match with Santana.
It would be a hell of a lot of fun. Absolutely. You know, and that's the thing. There's so many moments and matches out there. I still want to see Joe Hendry go ahead and take on John Cena.
Well, I mean, at this point,
that would be great.
We could have an NXT match between, like, I don't know, TNA's Joe Hendry and Triple A's Vikingo. I'm just glad that WWE came along. I'm just glad that WWE came along and introduced this brand new guy, Vikingo.
Joe Hendry's actually a good pro wrestler, or is it just the entrance? Like,
Joe Hendry, he's great, and he delivers. His matches are always damn stellar, and he's got a really interesting moveset. Like the standing ovation is like a high choke slam / like power slam, sidewalk slam,
I was
all
gonna say
kind
it's
of
like
his
he's choke slamming you, but he's grabbing you by your chest instead of your
neck,
throat.
yeah, your throat. So it's a chest
I would love to see
slam,
him
but
in, like, as much as his character is a fun character, I would love to see him in a more violent match just to see what that's like.
yeah.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but I'm
Well, he's
also
done
lazy.
some hardcore stuff like in ICW a few times, but all in all, for the most
I was gonna
part,
say, you were saying he was a heel somewhere.
yes, ICW was originally a heel, and he was starting to do like all these parody songs, and he got so over that the crowd loved
Yeah.
him, and he would, make fun of everything under the sun, and he would come up with these really like shock, shitty parody videos where he would wear, a printed piece of paper of that, wrestler's face that he's facing.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
he
he
would
did that
do-
in TNA for a bit too.
Yeah, exactly. So he kept it, but it just evolved and it got better as it went on. But he's just
just think
very
it's, like,
talented.
And I know I'm pushing against people that aren't in our wonderful community and our wonderful chat, but like this idea that WWE fans live in a bubble and they don't recognize anything from outside and they don't recognize any other companies. Once again, I'm going to say he was a surprise entrant. Nobody knew he was coming. Listen to the pop he got tonight.
There's a video of Priest being carried to the back. Oh no! And yes, Spaz. I mean, yes, it's a toothy time. I know that's one thing I didn't really get to bring up much yesterday. I saw that her mouth was messed up, but I wasn't sure if she actually knocked her teeth out or if it was just a small chip. But it looks like there's a couple of teeth chipped there.
There's
So
a couple of close-up shots that people have posted, and it's not actually I thought it was a chipped tooth as well. It's just a really dark stain on the front of her tooth that looks like it's been chipped.
oh, interesting.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, is it like really solid confirmation that WWE signs Britt Baker just not to be a wrestler, just to be a dentist,
Just to
Kinda
have
like
her
they want-
backstage.
kind of like they wanted Serena Deeb to be a coach. Not
Hey,
everything WWE does is perfect.
no, certainly not. But this was again, like I said, 2 for 2. Priest getting carried to the back. Hopefully he's okay, and maybe he wasn't selling. But next we get into what I was anticipating the most. I was really excited for this. I mean, Cole laid it all out. Dom is 0-3 at WrestleMania. And we were laying it on thick, but Braun Breaker, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn
I thought he
Balor.
was going to go 0-4 against that mask.
Right, it looked like it was
Take
stuck
it
for a
off.
little
Oh
bit,
my
but
god, that was, you know what though? But because like he's playing this like fucking loser that's trying to be cool, and he is like that's the Dom character. Like he thinks he's 10 times the star that he is, and he's a chicken shit. He's gonna hide behind Liv. He's
He
gonna
might
do
be
this.
actually cool now. I think the reaction tonight,
people
he
are
might be a
loving people
cool
are loving
bad
him.
guy.
He might be, but he's still playing that guy that's like not as cool as he thinks he is. As a character thing, even if the thing with the mask was legit, like when I was watching that, I was like, of course that would happen to Dominic.
I just
Like
you guys
I
were talking about
bought into
the
it a little bit.
mask. I just want to know one thing, because I love Finn Balor, but what the titty fuck was this?
He's come out for a lot of pay-per-views with random
some
cloth.
random shit and all that, but talk about gimmick infringement. Like, what
yellow.
the fuck, dude? You were a walking banana on WrestleMania. You were a rainbow a few years back. It was Finn Balor for everyone. Then we had the Demon. Then we had, what the fuck did you do? He's a banana now?
I'm a banana.
Banana, yeah. Oh,
I'm a banana. I'm a banana. Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God, I
yeah.
forgot about that fucking.
Onision, yeah. Oh,
Is
God.
that who it is?
Yeah, that's Onision from way back
like-
in the day.
It's like the Badger song, the Badger.
Well, I
Badger,
always liked the
Badger,
one they
Badger.
did on
No,
Tosh.0.
no.
They brought him on Tosh.0 and they updated it. They're like, we're going to play a game. You got to pick whatever hand's behind my back. Is it a knife or is it a banana? Which would you choose? Knife or banana? Knife or banana? It's catchy. And then they
Oh,
choose
no.
the knife, and you get you're fucked. But
It's like
you
when
get the
Dennis
point.
Leary did the 2025 version of the asshole song, and I just cried a little inside.
Yeah, that was not. Yeah, no.
Made me sad.
Just like a content cop that shouldn't have existed either. But this is gimmick infringement, and motherfucker, I am
made me
suing
sad and
you.
miserable in my tum tum.
Yeah, that's not.
Now I
that's
can
not
see
good.
why Liv and Dom want him out of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I mean, This shit's embarrassing. What the fuck are you wearing, Finn? And I know you've come out with some interesting stuff before, but my God, that left a lot to be desired. This match, fantastic. The fans were going nuts. Like I said before, Penta looked great here. He gets his usual, Cero Miedo 1,000 times out, but he had a huge dive on the outside to Braun Breaker, but Braun basically catches him and just slams him down. And then he follows up and he hits Finn Balor with like this huge press slam. He goes ahead, he turns around, he spears Dom. He's got him beat. He's getting the 3 count. 1, 2, Balor saves it. All right, they're still working together. And
can I point out something that I was thinking throughout this entire match?
Was it dude wipes? Because they kept talking about,
Oh my God, they were chanting dude wipes. But I know we haven't touched too much on the NXT show yet, but one comparison I wanted to make between the NXT show and this was you had the ladies 4-way on Stand and Deliver, which was awesome.
Oi, oi, oi.
Congrats to Stephanie Vacour and all the ladies involved in that. Jada Parker really showed out in that match as well. But it was
goddamn.
There was a lot of that match where it felt like there was 2 people we wanted to see fight and 2 other people that were there. Like Jordan Grace and Jada Parker were kind of there, and really the square off the story was Stephanie and Julia, which made sense if you've been paying attention, right? Similar to here on Raw, there was a stare down between Breaker and Penta several weeks ago, and it feels like they chucked both members of the Judgment Day out quite a bit to just get the stare down between the 2 of them. And it's like, okay, here's everybody that's fighting, but here's the match that we want. Here's everybody that's fighting, but here's the match that we want. And the Judgment Day can almost go and have a separate story in the corner. If you
now we've got Civil War Judgment Day going on, and I hate the idea that I mean, obviously we'll see what comes of it, but I'm not often a fan of double champs. It was nice seeing Stephanie defend it twice in one show, and they could have done a bit more, but
that's why I've got faith that they're not going to do the double Lyra thing.
I hope not, but maybe they'll drop the titles to Chemical X. Yeah, and we'll see what happens there. It's certainly possible.
X technically has a numbers advantage.
They do. Shotzi's back now, so I was happy to see her, and I just it's
my girl. Oh,
which one you choose? Dun, dun. You get the idea.
Indeed.
That's going to be stuck in your head for fucking ever, I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
What does the fox say? So.
No,
that's
the
another one I
dance.
forgot about.
Yeah.
We're talking about music on the other channel, and I just said at one point I was just like, if you ever really want to go make somebody use the hamster dance as their entrance music.
Oh God, that brings back some memories.
Terrible.
That and the Gummy Bear song. Pico. You just keep popping me, Pico. I don't know what else to say there, but
I just think it's really, really, really nice of WWE to bring her husband to Booster Seat to come watch her match.
As she tweets out, my husband wrestled 3 matches and then's going to fly and wrestle 4 more. Fuck anybody that made him feel insecure. And I'm like, well, he still sucks.
He came and wrestled for Destiny. Check it out for Spaz Phoenix bucket list. It's fine. And the 2 chants that he got was Booster Seat and Where's Your Parents? The thing about it is, like, shittiness aside, like, he's a decent wrestler, but I don't care.
There's nothing to him. There's just no gimmick, no character. It's just Gresham.
Like, I'm sorry, bud, your wife stows you safely in the overhead compartment.
She keeps you fine. The way that Carlito got just thrown through the Spanish announce table was crazy to get that spear done. The whole table collapses underneath him and he sells it like hell. Before that is when Dominic went to go hit Balor with the 619 that he catches. Fans went fucking ape shit for that. All night the fans were pretty damn good, so I appreciated the Mania audience. As we said though, at the end,
told me though that he's wasted.
He's fucked up at this point. I believe it. They haven't slept at all either. They've been going on adrenaline for days. The ending was great. So Dom, he's going up top. It looks like he's gonna get, no, Balor cuts him off and he gets crushed and he's down. But this one, Balor hits Breaker with the sling blade, and then he gets the drop kick. He goes up top, hits the coup de grace, Balor goes for the pin, and Dom hits the frog splash on top of him and pins Balor. 1, 2, 3, and we have a new.
Dom hitting the 619 on Breaker is hysterical.
Yes,
'Cause
before
I thought
that.
if he could have figured out a way to like spear him between the ropes as he was making the turn, I think that I don't think you can do that without hurting
If
somebody.
he gets a rematch, as we should see, so now, night 2, no longer 2 for 2. We're 3 for 3. We're cooking. It is a good night. We're having fun. Quality matches, great fun finishes, fun. Emphasis on fun so far. Dom won, a lot of fun. Drew won, fun match, serious meet. EO won, fun, enjoyable entertainment. We're just progressing ahead. Now Randy Orton comes out, crowd serenades him. Joe Hendry, he is the surprise every time. And we go ahead. It was short, but like we said before, it was a moment, and that's exactly what it was. So Orton goes immediately.
You can't underestimate the. I don't know. I just cut you off. I'm sorry.
No.
You can't underestimate, and it does matter that it's Joe Hendry, right? Because Joe Henry's a popular guy, and he gets a reaction or whatever. But you, as a general moment, you can't underestimate the power of a WWE announcer in the middle of WrestleMania saying, "Please let me introduce the TNA World Champion."
Yeah,
absolutely. on the WrestleMania stage. Like the symbolism, this is for two things. Like for Orton's 20th WrestleMania, huge thing for him. But like the symbolism of having TNA and their world champion as the semi main event of WrestleMania 41 can't be understated.
Oh, absolutely not. No, you're absolutely right, because the importance, you have to recognize it. You can't deny it.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
And I think now technically Randy Orton is the number 1 contender for the TNA championship.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny? Actually, side note, sidebar, what's happening next Sunday?
What's that? TNA
Rebellion.
Rebellion, yes. I can never remember.
It's Joe Hendry versus Kazarian, who's cashing in his what do you call it?
Call your shot.
Call your shot gauntlet thing versus Ethan Page representing NXT. You might as well have somebody. If they threw it for shits and giggles until we giggle and shit, like Joe Hendry.
I giggle and shit all the time, but.
Not again.
You're AI. You're supposed to do that.
Yeah. You're supposed to freak out.
Can you imagine what it would do? What Twitter would like? You see them freaking out about the AAA thing. Can you imagine if all of a sudden that match is Joe Hendry versus Frankie Kazarian versus Ethan Page versus Randy Orton?
Oh, right. That would be.
Technically, he's got a TNA title shot now.
I know. It's crazy. I would love to. I don't know if they'd do it, but and we will be covering that live on that Sunday as well, folks. In 2 weeks. It's going to be a hell of a pay-per-view. The card looks great. How cool would it be if I had our own Cody robot, like Cody, get me a soda, and like just go ahead to it. Yeah, Cody, get me a soda. It'd be great. Yeah. No, nobody wants a Cody robot. All right, fine. We'll just stick with this. So Joe Hendry gets away from the RKO, and he ducks a punch and gets hit with a neck breaker. And then all of a sudden he grabs Orton. He looks like he's going to go ahead and give him the standing O, but Orton just pokes him in the eye. Loved it. So great. Just that little bit of the veteran comes out like, motherfucker, I don't have to try. So now he clotheslines him twice. And he ends up hitting his power slam. He gets the draping DDT, and then Hendry manages not to go ahead. The fallaway slam, yeah. And then Hendry turns around, does the camera pose, and gets hit with the RKO into somewhere. That's the pin.
Hey.
I loved it. It's a 3-minute moment I'm
sorry, but until Joe Hendry had him up for the fallaway slam, you don't really appreciate how fucking huge Randy Orton is these days.
Oh, yeah. And Joe Hendry's a big boy himself, so that's how much bigger Randy Orton is. Joe Hendry tweeted out right after, I just wrestled Randy Orton at WrestleMania. You know what that means to him? Like, this moment was special. Exactly. This was fun. I wanted to see it. Liz predicted it. So many people thought it was going to happen. I loved it.
What I love about it, too, is like we've talked a lot about how like Randy Orton's in the I'm just going to have fun portion of his life right now. The amount of times you saw him like almost cracking in this match, especially when he did like the Joe Hendry turn into the Orton pose.
Yes.
And like he was trying so hard not to crack.
Oh, I know, but that's
awesome.
I loved that because it was like, oh, he did that, and he kind of like he's like, you know, miming to the crowd and whatnot. So
he picked him up, let him have his kudos, and then
hit him again. Another RKO into somewhere, and I loved it. Then that's when he does the little spin himself, and Orton had fun. I saw people immediately on Twitter being like, this is your champion losing in 3 minutes. How do you feel now? And it's like,
this is your champion in WrestleMania.
Yeah, right? It was a big deal for your champion to be included in the Rumble. Now they're on WrestleMania, on the biggest stage of them all.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. And yes, I'm going to go there for a second. But like, was it better when you were working with AEW and one of the AEW guys just like fucked off with your belt for a bit?
Yeah.
Oh, he fucked off.
Like, see, now you got the Cody bot all excited. Hey, either way, I'm not so sure Hendry's keeping this title going forward. I think they have plans for him in the E-land. Yeah.
That'll make me malfunction.
What's hysterical is we talk about which belt's going to cross over first, and I think it might be Ethan Page representing NXT holding the TNA title.
Yeah.
Because much as I love Frankie Kazarian, and he's like such a good, like just generic shitty dickhead guy for like all the baby faces to bounce off of.
Yeah.
And he's really good in that role. I don't think they're giving him the belt.
I don't think so, but anything's possible.
He's been a really, like, he's a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's basically playing voluntarily playing the Miz.
Yeah, he's being
TNA.
like the movie star
the shithead
dick
with the big cup
ego
and everything.
Yeah.
He put his scarf on the cup.
Kind of like Lexus King, but not as praised.
So he's like better MJF. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I like MJF. MJF's good. I'm tired of MJF. I used to want to tune into Dynamite to see him, and now I'm just like, oh, I'll catch Dynamite like, you know, Thursday, Friday. I just don't have it in me. But you know what I am excited for? And now I get why Worlds Collide is so early, because that's going to be held at 3 Eastern as Money in the Bank, and that's 7 Eastern at the Intuit Dome. So they're doing it at the Kia Forum and then the Intuit Dome. So June 7th is going to be a busy day for us, my friend. But I'm excited for that pay-per-view. Well. And of course, I would say this as a staunch black and gold fan. If they're bringing back names, if they're bringing back Worlds Collide,
yeah,
are they bringing back Takeover?
I mean, we hear that one of the pay-per-views is going to be Ruthless Aggression at the end of the year for Cena. Anything's possible. I would love to see Takeover's return.
Speaking about Cena, I thought the main event did that tonight, but apparently not. Cena said tomorrow to tune into Raw to show how he ruins wrestling.
We'll see how that progresses.
Showed that tonight, but I guess we check tomorrow. I wanted Cena to win, but in some way I feel disappointed still because I expected more.
I know we're not on the main event yet, but Stewart said Orton is now R-Truth's new childhood hero.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, Cena announced he's calling the belt the WWE China Championship. There you go. He'll piss off some Taiwanese people.
Here it is. So does that mean R-Truth is going to hit the R-Truth KO?
Yeah, buddy, that's your rim shot. Yeah.
Hey,
bring back In Your House. They did that during COVID times. Now they need to do it with fans. Great Balls of Fire. We were talking about that earlier, so funny enough. Next up, we got Logan Paul, AJ Styles. And it was nice seeing Jessica Carr in the ring as the referee this time, though. Not wrestling on, the Tubi side. Really,
that's not Jessica Carr. That's fucking Xerxes.
So,
Or
yeah, whatever the hell she. What are you watching? 300 now? Oh, down to Xerxes. The entrances were cool. Logan comes out like a brick.
big fat person.
Sorry, wrong movie.
And these guys had a good match.
Puts the lotion in the fucking basket.
It's very tired in here.
Yeah, I don't know why. I couldn't figure that out.
Oh fuck.
I got a lot
Don't-
out of this
Dear-
match, more
dear
than I thought.
WWE, don't do WrestleMania on Easter weekend.
Yeah, please keep it away from holidays because that
I beg
That
never
was
to
a
do it on
hard-
Easter weekend again because I've been
Oof.
busy the last few days, so I lacked on sleep so much. So
I'm playing
Yeah,
soccer
kinda
with
agree.
fucking 3 broken bones in my foot, all my goddamn nieces and nephews, and doing egg hunts and not sleeping. And I eventually I'm going to go into a comatose state, but then I'll wake up in time to watch Raw and review it. So
I
no,
don't have any kids or any broken bones. I am just a champion at being lazy.
you're just exhausted. I don't blame you there. I'm surprised I haven't gone unconscious yet, but I still got some energy kicking. The chat is keeping me alive. Logan Paul's mom is Mrs. Paul. Yeah, no doubt about it. So we get a really good back and forth from these two. Probably my favorite moment.
Mrs. Paul's got it going.
Yeah, hey,
Jesus
I'll take
Christ.
what was that? Fountains of Wayne. Damn, you're going, back to high school for me. We went ahead and got one of my favorite sequences with Logan, I possibly so far, where he hits the Styles Clash, but because he hasn't done it before, he doesn't really, it's not the greatest executed. It looks good, but it's the point of like AJ's then able to, just put him in the Styles Clash right after, and it was that just like quick succession. It was a really cool moment. So
it
He
was
doesn't
like
need a second
that-
finisher though. He's got the buckshot.
yeah, and they called it something different on commentary too. I heard Cole say, but McAfee was like, it's a buckshot lariat, and they got to the end. I like the ending sequence. So basically, AJ's he's heading towards the apron. He's gonna do the phenomenal forearm. So then he goes ahead and Paul kind of moves in, so he jumps over him, and as soon as AJ turns, he hits him with the titanium reinforced fist there, and hits the pulverizer. Scores the win. This was a really good match. There wasn't really stakes. There wasn't really like much substance to it. It's just Logan's a dick and
It's a
on his
Logan
way
Paul
up.
match.
Yeah.
There was a couple spots in here that I like. What I liked, I don't remember how they got to it, but it was when Styles. I think the first time Styles tried to hit the Styles Clash
Yeah.
on Logan Paul, but he was blocking it. So he basically walked him over to the corner, propped him up in the corner, and like just boot fucked him in the spine a couple of times.
That was
And,
great.
that was good. I like the fact that, like, first of all, the pulverizer is a pretty good pun and a pretty good move.
The
but
damn good
also
move.
The fact that his splash from the top rope is called the Paul from Grace.
Yes. Damn good too. So I'll take it.
Oh, it's good. It's excellent stuff.
I'm a fan of
it's all good
puns.
stuff.
Exactly.
It's all good stuff.
I like punny behavior, so I'm a fan of it. Speaking of fish, did we find out why Bailey was taken out? I thought we figured that out before. I thought it was a case of rotten crotch, and we went ahead and figured. No. Well, one thing I didn't bring up yet because I wanted to talk about it as kind of a separate thing in this match is Karrion Kross's involvement.
Yes.
So he comes out, and basically you can see a hand just kind of reaching out and grabbing AJ, and it's like, oh, it's Karrion Kross, holy shit! And basically he's trying to get AJ to use the brass knuckles on Paul. Be evil, take him out. We're the old guard. We need to defend this. He's trying to tromp on our house. He's shitting in our lawn. What are you doing? Take him out. And AJ looks like he's going to consider it for a second, but then he throws the brass knuckles away. He punches Kross, and that's when, he just, if he wasn't messing with Kross, he could have gotten, could have gotten the phenomenal forearm probably in the right time, but Logan got too close. And as we said, he gets the pin with the pulverizer. So
Karrion should have come in as the next guy to show up in one of the Prime bottles.
Some people said like the Kross thing felt flat, and they were upset that there wasn't a surprise celebrity, more so with the Prime bottle continuance. I was curious if they were going to do anything with it, but up to this
What I
point in
love-
time, I was really happy. This was 5 for 5 for me. We were doing great on Mania for the most part.
If you're playing WWE 2K25, one of the things that I love is like the Prime hydration station is actually part of the ring setup, and it's actually
That's
by commentary. You can hit people with like the bottles and stuff.
That's
Holy
great.
Shit, really?
Yeah.
I haven't played video games in a while. I'm too busy.
I like
Too
like
busy getting laid, and doing cool stuff
Yeah, by you know.
like playing
just guys
paintball,
just guys being dudes.
soccer.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, just
guys
hanging
being
out.
dudes. No, I'm not
Yeah.
really a gamer much at all. Like PlayStation is basically my Netflix machine.
I was trying to
But-
play
but-
golf
but-
with him, and I got a hole in one. You know, if you know what I mean.
I'll
I went
touch
to- I went to
Destiny
the-
with
I went to-
Matt, and I'll
I
fuck
went to
around
the
with Call
bar
of
the other
Duty,
night
but
and
that's
I
about
got
all
one
of
of my
it.
balls in one. Don't worry about it.
That's where the
Tired
crabs
as hell.
came from. That's where the crabs came from.
Oh,
Damn it.
Yeah, sorry.
So we're 5 for 5 at this point. People are doing good, and now we go ahead. We get the women's tag, and this is the first real hiccup. We knew it was going to be Bailey taken out. Sure. Becky's going to be the replacement. All right, fine. Bailey's taken out. We're going to get Becky. We don't really get a reason why. She's not injured. She's not just for the storyline, but they wanted Becky to be a surprise, and they couldn't figure out another way to have her included as a surprise. This was their best idea. Bird Lady and Becky, they won the goddamn titles. This was not a great match. It was again, like night one was at times, a bit disjointed and kind
Bird
of,
Lady 2 belts.
yeah, kind of just, it just wasn't that entertaining. It left a lot to be desired. Thankfully, it was short. It was like something like 8 minutes, 30 seconds, I think was my like final time. But around that point, I couldn't even say, because getting the tornado DDT and then going for the manhandle slam and like, really, like, I don't know. It made more sense in my mind, anyways. I wanted to see it, but we got to see how it plays out. We'll be patient more, but
I will say
it was a way to please the crowd. Obviously, Becky's a big name. People were happy to see her back. She's been gone for over a year.
But at least it
Yeah.
moderately made sense. Like a lot of people were saying, oh, they could do this to introduce Mariah May or Britt Baker, or they could use it to bring back AJ Lee. But if you think about it, she had a partner in play. She hasn't really been a tag team person in general. She sort of had this burgeoning respect going between her and Bailey. But like she's talked like throughout her tenure in NXT about how her main inspiration was Becky Lynch. They got to fight over the title. They built a respect for each other, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And she knows that Becky is there because she's there to celebrate with her husband who had his big win the night before,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. So if you know that your hero's in the next room and your boss says you got 24 hours to find a partner, she is the one you would pick if you want
Yeah.
the story to make any sense.
It made sense. It wasn't any type of issue there
It wasn't
either.
pulled out of the ass as
No.
no, I know you know that, but I'm saying a lot of people
Yeah,
pulled
I get your
Becky out of
point.
their ass. It's like,
Yeah.
well, they didn't.
They really didn't. They pretty much, it was a decently crafted story. It just feels like it's at the
It's at the expense of Bayley.
Bailey. Yeah, that's I was gonna say behest, not expense. My brain is chugging along now. Let's just take more pills. Ah.
Because
I
the
don't
whole thing,
I don't
is-
know what I'm
the
taking
whole
anymore.
thing that's looming over this entire thing is a long time ago. The rumor we're going to get the culmination of the Bailey Roxanne Perez thing, and then they shoved Roxanne Perez into the tag team match with a partner that she hasn't been partners with in months, and then they put Bailey, who's not a tag team wrestler, in a tag team, had her get jumped so that they could put Becky in. So I get the criticisms of the Bailey removal. I don't get the criticisms.
Why
of
didn't we just
Bayley-
do
Becky being
Lyra
included? Yeah,
versus
Becky
Liv
makes
for the
sense.
Intercontinental title?
Sorry?
Why didn't we just do Lyra versus Liv for the Intercontinental Championship, and Liv and Dom could have won their Intercontinental Championships together?
Because then
at
you'd have
WrestleMania?
because then you'd have the opposite complaint of what people have right now. Right now, they did the tag title match, and people are bitching that they didn't defend the Intercontinental Championship. If they had done the other way around, they would be bitching that the tag titles weren't defended.
We already figured out how to handle this, remember?
Well,
Put it on Nikki
Stand and
drop the
deliver.
title.
They should have defended the belts on stand and deliver.
Facts.
Instead of having the
It
number
makes
one
no sense.
contendership, they should have had a fatal 4-way, fatal 5-way, add the champs in, and they could have done it for the titles.
But
I
they
just
want
don't
to they want to
understand.
infuse a couple of main eventers onto that Tuesday show in Vegas.
Yes. So
move
that brings Becky Lynch to NXT. That's a huge draw. Absolutely.
Storyline wise, this doesn't make sense with the Judgment Day though. It just irks me. I don't get it. Like, so Finn Balor was supposed to be made out to be this loser here, and everyone else has success. They all have championship gold, but Liv and Raquel lost too. So
I know it is a bit baffling.
I don't think it's the breakup point of the Judgment Day, and you could be right. I'm just speculating here. I don't think they're going to lean on the fact that, hey, we're all winners and you're a loser. It's going to come more to a point of Finn could have got himself a belt, and literally Dom's the one that took it from him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is a slightly different story than we all have belts and you don't. But he can also look at Dom more directly and be like, "You stole this from me," and then everybody else picks a side. And then I think at some point you're gonna get Carlito on Dom's side, and that's gonna bring back JD McDonough. JD McDonough and Finn Balor are gonna go off as a babyface tag team.
Yeah,
and Liv's already going to defend Dom, so
Facts.
no matter what.
But you're not going
to
but as entertaining as it would be, I don't think WWE is going to give us Finn versus Liv.
Yeah, no, it would have been nice, and like you said, to have them both be IC champs would have been perfect. That's a hell of a story for them. I mean, it still could happen.
So what you're saying is you want Liv Morgan and Dirty Dom to be the intercontinental tag team champions.
Yes.
Nice.
Absolutely. It's better than DUI 316 as Austin made the Karen freak out that he rammed the barricade into and sent her flying.
I saw the clip of that. She didn't even get hit. She just
got sent backwards because she was startled and she went back on her ass. And there was a tweet put up right away as somebody in like all this neck gear, medical wise, and being like, "That's me."
Why couldn't we be there? Is it
right?
that easy to get shows?
She's gonna show up in the crowd on Raw and be like, "Are you making fun of my headgear?"
So what? You made a great point, Spaz.
Neck brace and all.
She should sell it. If I could go all the way through with it. You made a good point. Like Becky is not a bad choice. It just it goes against what they've kind of built with us so far. And
I have a bad feeling though once Becky return, I'm like, there's no way they have her lose.
So now we're 5 out of 6. We're down 1, but the main event's gonna be fucking great.
No, stop it. We're not talking about the main event. So Roman Reigns versus CM Punk and Seth Rollins happened tonight. And that was.
I know that you're freaking out, Cody, but I know you tried to put the great match of last night because that really was a fucking outstanding main event. I really wish that closed this show. And
do we really have to talk about the real main event?
Yeah. Cody is 0-4 in his career against Cena. Now 0-5.
Damn it.
They were trying to say like, oh, Cody was young then, but you tried to save me from getting into this, but it has to happen. Basically, they did nothing.
I'm just saying, Punk should have won on night 1. He should have been the third participant in the match on night 2. Kicked Cody in the dick, kicked Cena in the dick. I'm taking 2 main events because it's overdue. There's a tariff on main events now. I'm taking the belts. Fuck Travis Scott. I'm the voice of the voiceless. Eat my ass.
Eat my ass, yeah. Peace. Deuces. I would have loved if Stone Cold gave that bitch a stunner. That's you can only take the dickless so far. Speaking of dickless, Cena did the "you can't see me" shit. You see that? You see the crowd? They wanted to cheer. They started to, and then they're like, "Oh!" They start booing. They don't know what the fuck they want.
Introductions.
I know.
Cody Rhodes during.
I didn't quite get why he was being booed. I mean, they tried to do a little bit of the switch, but it wasn't quite the Hogan WrestleMania 18 that you experienced.
That's how it was going to be at first when they were booing. No way.
I'll go back to what we said on the preview when we said, yeah, Cena should win this. And it's not because Cody being a champion is a bad thing. But
No,
Cody came in as champion. If he leaves as champion, then the result is nothing has changed.
exactly.
What
And,
world do
and
we
what
live
does
in now,
John
though?
do
Wait,
from here
no.
if he doesn't win?
I know, but
came back originally. They started booing Cena heavily, and when they chose Cody Rhodes over The Rock, but they choose John Cena over Cody Rhodes. I don't know what kind of world we're
This
yeah,
was not a match. Like you said, it was all just spectacle. It
Segment.
all just as building to Travis Scott coming out, and he's got his fucking stupid hardcore, makeshift title there. We go ahead and we see him saunter to the ring while Cody sits in the fucking mat, not moving, staring at John, who's laughing like a goddamn hyena because Travis Scott is coming, and he's what, gonna save the day? Like, why was John so like, oh, I've won now? It felt silly. I was like, oh, The Rock's coming. That's why he's laughing. The Rock's coming, but The Rock never came.
But I'll say it again, though. That's why they had Austin come out and do something else earlier in the night, because everybody thought Austin was coming to save this segment, and they needed to do something to let us know that, yeah, he's not coming. He's already done his bit for the evening.
Spaz.
Yeah.
Spaz. The Rock never came.
Well, sometimes it happens to everybody every now and then.
But it's WrestleMania.
Okay, I know you're doing a gimmick here, but like, look at the match.
No,
that
I'm
we
really
got.
sad. Where's The Rock?
What would The Rock have done?
Like, what the fuck? No, but I'm good at acting. But
I do.
granted,
The thing is, like, I want to see The Rock versus Cody more than I want to see a rematch of this.
it's pissing me off now. I don't
I'm
get.
send this to you on
Yeah, please
I don't know
do.
if you saw this.
I might not
Speaking about
have
getting
yet.
hit by vehicles. They were doing something with Dominic. It looks like, and Dominic was riding off somewhere, and a fan ran into the thing they were driving. I don't know what you call it. I'm tired enough to
Like a golf
go
cart
check
kind of
it.
thing
I
or
just
something.
DM'd it. Yeah, a golf cart of some sort. I sent it to you on Twitter.
Alrighty, I will check that out. Pull it up.
Fire breathing.
Crazy shit. Yeah. Shared a post. Holy shit, she got hit. Let's see. Hold on. We got to try and pull this up for the chat. All right, chat. Hold on. Let's get this up over here at source. Phenomena. Dun, 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 dun. And there's X. Dun, 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 dun. And they're driving the golf cart. And they just ran that lady over at the end there. Right there. Oh, that sucks. Hopefully she's okay, but get the fuck out of the way. They're beeping. They need to go. I blame you. Sorry.
Fans at WrestleMania tonight getting hit by freaking.
Where the fuck is The Rock? Where is The Rock? It doesn't make sense. He made Cena basically turn heel. He told him he did the fucking thing. They did the fucking thing. Why? Where? It's just baffling. The only thing we've seen from him is a goddamn Rubik's Cube and a New Japan shirt. And then he went and bought AAA. So he doesn't even know what fucking company he's talking about.
This kind of lowered my expectations for Raw after Mania. Even Raw after Manias have been.
Yeah, Rock was busy
Trash
helping
anyway.
in Maui with Oprah, going ahead and donating other people's money. On 420 and Rusev Day, we didn't get Rusev. They're saving it. I guess Rusev's supposed to be on Raw, and Aleister Black's making his debut on SmackDown, from what's being said.
Aleister Black's making his debut on SmackDown, and we have a TLC match.
So what version of Rusev are we getting?
Exactly. I mean, we get the best of both shows.
Is he gonna keep Miro or?
I think he's going to be probably back to their former names, but you never know for sure because Sean Spears.
I think he's going to go back to the Rusev name, but I think he'll try to do the Redeemer.
Yeah,
gimmick.
Ethan Page. That would be great. I loved that. I mean, they brought him in as a video game loving and arcade molesting pink Mickey Mouse designer shirt wearing dude, and it was just
We're not
so
gonna do the
bizarre.
Rusev Day shit, are we?
There's a shit ton of people on Twitter right now
People want
saying
it.
Gunther versus The Miz at Survivor Series is better than Gunther versus Jay yesterday. I can't buy that, and I'm a Miz guy.
Yeah, no, Jay had
Gunther
a better
versus
match.
Miz, actually, I don't know. Well, maybe the match after that Raw match Miz and Gunther had, I'm thinking of, but Gunther and Miz did have a killer match.
Oh, they were good, but I mean, like
that Raw match though, Gunther and Miz was fucking phenomenal.
Was good. But I'm saying like overall moment storytelling,
storytelling, yes.
Stage, yeah.
Storytelling, yes. Jay was.
I'm not going to tell you Jay Gunther was 5 stars in the Tokyo Dome, brother. But like,
well,
big
Meltzer would have made it
Meltzer,
7 stars.
Meltzer eats his tacos from the wrong end of his wife. I don't know what to tell you about Meltzer. He knew all about the AAA thing.
He
like
did.
Months ago. He just couldn't tell. You know, his reporter integrity wouldn't let you.
No, he's doing the podcast with Brian Alvarez, and Brian Alvarez literally looked at him and said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It was great. It was fucking glorious because he's like, "What are you even saying? Do you listen to yourself?" It was just muddled nonsense. I think Meltzer was diddled by Pat Patterson. I think Pico might have been onto something. That's why he hung out at arcades. Always had pockets full of quarters and
Tony
condoms.
Khan gets excited about those Meltzer awards. That's the only person. Imagine if Triple H got on Twitter saying
when Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa ever walked backstage after their what was it, St. Patrick's Day? They had that crazy hardcore match between each other.
Oh yeah, the lights out, yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as she goes backstage, she's like, "You think that'll get 5 stars? Do you think that'll get 5 stars?" And I was like, "Really? That just ruined you for me at that moment." Like, if you say, "Are the fans gonna love it?" That's one thing, but going after Meltzer's validation is.
Seth Rollins, anytime we get shits on Meltzer.
It is funny.
Seth Rollins. I saw an interview the other day with Rollins hyping up WrestleMania, and he just started shitting on Meltzer. I need to find that again, but he was just doing it the other day.
Booker T just put up a cartoon of himself on Twitter that says, "I wasn't asleep, I was praying." #WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, you know what's really funny? Jordan Grace just put out a tweet. So somebody said, "Jordan, heads up, there's someone claiming to be your uncle on Top Slam
and she says
app."
It is, yeah.
And she's like, "No, that's my uncle. What the hell is he doing?" But he was like promising autographs and other stuff to get a card from the game of yours, and he's trying to barter. And hey, if that was my niece, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure. You want to sign some napkins for me?" That can go. That's hilarious. So makes you laugh.
It's all happening.
There's so much of this weekend. I mean, we looked forward to WrestleMania, and I'm just yesterday I was very underwhelmed, and maybe I didn't temper my expectations properly, but part of it was the lengthy builds.
The woman did main event WrestleMania because, as we stated, Cody Rhodes and John Cena wasn't a match. So the real main event of WrestleMania was Becky and Lyra versus Liv and Raquel.
No shit, huh?
That was the main event of WrestleMania.
At least there was a clean title change there.
Stand and Deliver alone featured 18 women.
So, Spaz, Stand and Deliver, we'll get into a little bit here because we didn't really get to talk, you and I, with NXT, and motherfuck me, this was amazing. I know I sound like, glaze the NXT knob, of course, but
yep,
we've had
absolutely
we have had pay-per-views and PLE specials that were like, they were good, but it could have been better. Roadblock was excellent, that was stacked, but like the Cincinnati show was like kind of just we've had nights that are blood. This was not that. Yeah, Vengeance Day was like, it was decent. The only thing good was Stephanie Baker won the North American title from Fallon Henley, but everything else was kind of just like, more the same.
Really good. Even though she lost, really good show out night for Fallon Henley.
Oh my God! So Ruka's asshole was out in her outfit. Jesus Christ, that girl's ass. But the
show overall was
amazing. That women's ladder match was so incredible.
My God.
They managed to not only make the spots, because they rehearsed it, it was practice, but they didn't ever make it look like it wasn't flowing naturally. Each sequence led into the next thing properly, and when they struggled lifting and moving the ladders, because those things are heavy, they're hard to set up, they nailed it. They just continually nailed it. We've seen the women, like Kalani Jordan, have a great showing before getting the North American title. I like that it keeps going back to a ladder match for the North American titles.
Thea Hale's back in her groove.
Yeah, she, as I said, a ball of cocaine and crack, just, a real 8-ball. That girl is got spunk. She was super impressive. Like I said, though, Sol and Zarya finally duking it out with each other, and then she does like a forward roll mule kick, takes Zarya down, and then uses her incredible core strength to lift herself up and over to grab the title. That was after she hit the back-to-back soul snatcher.
The double soul snatcher off the
yeah.
Now, I will say the double soul snatcher was just 3 people falling down. I love Sol Ruka, but the double that they went for was really ambitious.
Yes.
It was just 3 people falling down.
It was 3 cutters, but
the
God damn, was that fun.
sideways one off the ladder was pretty sick. Sol Ruka's awesome. Sol Ruka is one of those ones, like we always say Kalani Jordan, but Sol Ruka and who's the other one I'm not thinking of? That's like just bubbling underneath. I think Jada Parker, it's fair to say, has broken through to the main event.
He has absolutely broken through.
There's somebody I'm not thinking of. It's Kalani Jordan and Sol Ruka.
Is he Dame?
Somebody else. Maybe
Izzy Dame really had a great showing there. She's improved drastically with the culling and the spot with Thea Hale getting launched off the ladder into the culling. I was like, oh, Sean Spears, they're all coming out again. Perfect. They're coming out to help Izzy, and then all there to catch her.
I hate to say it like this because I'm kind of ruffling their hair a little bit, but it's like they were all good sports because like none of them had a match, so they were there to be landing pads for the ladies,
and
which is fine.
They couldn't have enjoyed it more. Apparently, but they were like super supportive, and that's what Sean said he's been loving is being able to teach. Like holy hell!
To watch this yet?
I love the Snatcher. Yeah, I absolutely Pico. And
sorry, did you say you haven't had a chance to watch it yet?
Yes, he did, and he needs to be kicked in the testicles for that. But Cody, I'm telling you, he heard about it yesterday. He was here with me for parts of it, and he had me ramping through the review. But
as long as we're not giving him spoilers,
no, he's kind of been spoiled already, unfortunately. But
try to be a decent person occasionally.
We try, and a lot of it. But that's what I told him. I'm like, you have to go back and watch that tag match. That is still my favorite match of this entire weekend. I was not the biggest Hank and Tank fan.
NXT tag?
Yes.
Oh, they're so good.
They are good, but it's not like I didn't like them. They just weren't my favorite. Like I really like Fraxium. They're my guys in NXT. At the end of that match, I was so I think I sent a video just like screaming at that point. I was so pumped that fucking Hank and Tank did it, and the way they won. My God, there was one point in time where Hank went ahead and hit the clothesline onto Axiom, and he was going to turn him inside out. You could tell how he was going to do a little bit of a jump to get the full roll. Didn't need to move. He hit him so hard, up and over, ass over tea kettle.
It was Hank that went. I don't know how this even happened because it looked like it broke time and space for a second. But he went and he did like a giant ass suicide dive out of the ring, but there was nobody there, so he just sort of face planted on the desk and just kind of chilled there for a bit. He was just taking a nap outside because he went for a dive onto nobody.
Exactly.
And then he came back in for to break up the thing. But no, you know what it is and Fraxium, we said it, 2024, fuck the Bucks. Fraxium was the tag team of the year.
Tag team of the year.
So
consistently,
really
every single match they had, Spaz, every single one was excellent.
And you know what? Hank and Tank aren't that. They aren't the best tag team.
No.
I would put a lot of teams ahead of them. But they're the ones that have made me care the most in the past 5 months.
Who would you put ahead of them?
I would put a lot of no, just in general. If I was gonna say for the year, I mean, I like DIY. I like friggin' Motor City Machine Guns. I think the reinvigorated
Street Profits.
Street Profits. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Are there Viking Raiders are finding their groove again? Fraxium are top of the heap. The guys that are with
Axiom might be like
Top of the heap.
yeah, but my point being is like Hank and Tank are just like two big fun guys that make you give a shit. So you've got this team over here that I think is probably one of the best tag teams going right now, and you got the other team over here that might not be that, but make me give a shit. It's the perfect match almost.
Yeah, close to it. I mean, really.
When they won the gauntlet last week on NXT, like I gave a shit, and it's unfair to compare, but like we're coming off of the tag team women's gauntlet from SmackDown the week before, and it's like I like Lyra Valkyria, I like Bailey, but I wasn't like, oh my God, come on, you can get it done. You can get it done. Like I was doing that with Hank and Tank because I wanted it to be them.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And plus, it was face versus face,
they
and
made
that's
it fun to believe in them.
Yes.
Who just left?
We had Liz in here. I was about to cue her in. She was on her tablet. We'll see if we can get her to work through it. But
All right.
yo, there's Bugaloo Benny. There's my bud. I see him in there. But yeah, I forgot. I was trying to send out links to Discord. I sent it about an hour ago, and I was just doing too much to pay attention to mention it. But I did send the links out, so I forgot I had to send it to KSP.
Who do we got?
I did it a little late. I mean, we're gonna have John Cena there. I don't know. Did they have anything announced for Raw? Let's see. John Cena says tune into Raw after WrestleMania to see how he ruins wrestling. That's pretty much WWE Raw after WrestleMania. Cheapest price, best seats for the T-Mobile Arena. Any other previews?
I got a question.
Yes.
I got a question for you. So Friday, and people got upset, I think rightfully so, on SmackDown this past Friday when they did the tag title match. It went to a non-finish because DIY got involved, and Aldis said, basically, everybody go fuck yourself. 3 of you are going to have a TLC match next week on SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people said, why didn't they put it on Mania? Pretty sure I know why they didn't do it on Mania. Pretty sure I know why they saved it until next Friday. Because right now, it's DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're going to get a last-minute announcement that Fraxium are added to that match.
I think you might be right, especially since they lost the titles. That'd be a huge call-up. And goddamn, would that be great. So it says the Raw after WrestleMania, April 21st, John Cena, Jey Uso, and more set to appear. WrestleMania weekend is now past after months of chaotic brawls, blah, 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 blah. The Raw after WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year. It says that we're getting... There's no official matches being advertised yet or announced. There are announced appearances by John Cena, Gunther, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Jey Uso, and Lyra Valkyria. So Becky will obviously be there too. They weren't announcing that. Wow, so no set matches yet. John Cena says tune in. He will show you how he's going to ruin wrestling.
CM Punk challenges him for the title tomorrow night. Or should I say tonight on Raw, seeing as it's definitely ridiculous o'clock.
Yeah, LA Knight over there. He's got him and Jacob having a favorite match, Stewart said. They really tore it up. It was a great match. I was happy that Solo did not get involved. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I'm curious how much we have.
I like LA Knight, but I don't think he's always the best bell-to-bell guy. I think he put in a hell of a shift on Saturday.
Yeah. On StubHub right now, I see tickets starting $230 and it goes all the way up to $741 in this section. So
yeah, fuck that.
There's a couple for $109, but they are, where's that? It's the like way it's you were in the last of the bowl and the top and the way back, like way up. And it's actually with all the fees and stuff, it's $151. It's one ticket. A couple rows in front of that is $424. And then if you want to sit anywhere on the floor, you're looking at least $327 or higher. Damn. I used to remember that you had a 4-pack of tickets for $25 a piece. You know, they would do like the family things, and not anymore, that's for sure. Hot damn, hot dog, hot diggity dog. Yeah, the Ricky Saints match was damn good. As we started the Tony Fumble Rumble, him and Paige killed it. I can't say that enough. It was a great start, even though the ladies started on the pre-show, but you get my point.
Hey, they actually had matches on the pre-show.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm excited for what we got from it. So, honestly, it was a hell of a weekend. Liz, can you hear us? We're seeing if we got you able to work from the tablet side of things. We'll see if it works for you.
Hey,
Trying to get it to work. We'll see. But people are saying, what part of I'm going to ruin wrestling for everyone? Maybe she's muted on my end, huh? Let me see. That is let's see. There we go. I think I have to unmute when I go in. There we go. What's going on?
Not much. I had to give my tablet permission to use my mic, so I was like,
maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. But
same
hey, there you
problems
go.
I had.
Yeah, we went down that
Well,
rabbit hole. At least you're not
well-
trying to teach Spaz how to use something that isn't Skype. You know, him and I,
Hey,
we spent an
hey,
hour not getting a recording done. Both
yeah,
of
well,
us
you know,
equally.
the
Me as
thing
well,
is,
fucking up.
I got company over downstairs, and they're sleeping on the couch, so that's where my computer is at the moment. So I had to use my tablet.
Well, there you go. Hey, that works out. So
Hey, we did a podcast on my phone. It's fine.
exactly, we've done pretty much any way possible to what we can go ahead and record. So I didn't see the results of the Slammies yet. I don't know if you guys saw that, but
I saw a few of those things.
yeah, well,
I think Cody won like 3 of them.
I see that. So Cody got most memorable entrance for his night 2 entrance at WrestleMania. I agree. The WTF moment of the year was the Wyatt 6 debut. I agree.
Yep.
The OMG is the Cena heel turn. Match of the year. I guess they have a tie.
Yeah.
Wow. Roman
Right.
Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, and CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood.
Yep,
If you're gonna
I
have
was
if
at
you're
that
if you're
one.
gonna if you're gonna have a tie, that's pretty fair.
Absolutely.
I
Rivalry.
saw one of those matches live.
Yes, you did at Bad Blood indeed.
I was gonna say when they were showing everybody entering the building today, Drew McIntyre walked into the building with one, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's for Hell in the Cell.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can thank CM Punk for that trophy.
You can, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he had a great year, but it wouldn't have been an amazing year without Punk. Absolutely.
Nope.
Tag team of the year,
Fraxium.
Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
Fuck my life.
Spaz is having a stroke. Social
no.
star of the year did not go to Chelsea Green. It went to Drew.
A stroke is when Liv Morgan comes out. Anyway.
The breakout superstar of the year, Stephanie Vaquer. Good for her. NXT superstar of the year, Roxanne Perez.
Fair.
Very fair, especially for the year she had with that title. She made the division strong after 2.0, and Mandy Rose went and packing.
That's fair. I'd go with that.
Female superstar of the year went to Liv Morgan. Yeah, and male, of course, Cody.
Cody Rhodes.
That's right.
Should have been Punk, but okay.
Well,
it had to be
after seeing who
Cody.
was nominated for that category. It was like it could have gone to any of those guys.
Had Punk maybe had a couple more matches, I really could have sunk my teeth into him being the superstar of the year because he was injured.
That he's not Ace Steel.
God, it was great. It was great to see Chris Bay be at WrestleMania.
Yes.
He got brought in by Cody. How touching was that? Freaking Bay not getting the title the other night, giving it to Macklin. Like,
Yeah.
You mean Ace?
Or, yes. You know what I meant. Ace, Chris. You know what I meant. I'm backwards.
Him getting a chance to go. We're flipping back to the Thursday show now, but him getting a chance to walk out on stage and get his adulation from people was really awesome.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. By the time I got to the end of that show, I was kind of halfway sleepwalking through it. But Macklin,
that was my issue.
Like Wentz didn't go to the final, Ace didn't go to the final. What are we doing? Macklin's fine. He's defending it against Eric Young next weekend at Rebellion. So
which would
Rebellion
be good.
looks pretty sick.
Yeah,
Rebellion looks pretty sick.
It's going to be a big card. I'm excited for that. That's 2 Sundays from now.
If I can
it'll be a fun
make
time.
a random point, if I can make a
Oh, yeah, I
random
thought
point here,
Rebellion was next weekend.
Yeah, no, it's
Rebellion is next weekend,
this upcoming next Sunday, right?
the
Yes,
27th.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
If I can make a point here, going into WrestleMania, one of the biggest complaints was, "Oh, look at Triple H just doing all these triple threat matches. He's trying to do triple main." Well, I mean, now he can do triple mania
Now
because
he
owns Triple H.
he really and
But-
he's vowing to preserve Lucha. So
But here's the thing, though, right? Oh my God, there's way too many triple threats. There's way too many triple threats. Let me just say something, right? Trick, Javon, Oba, Punk, Rollins, Roman,
Yep.
Ripley, Bianca, Io.
Mhm.
Please tell me a triple threat that didn't deliver.
yeah, and pretty much all the multi-person matches that were originally the
four ways
worry
as well.
multi-mania.
The NXT Women's 4-way,
Yeah.
Intercontinental 4-way. Please show me, point to me on the bear where there's a multi-person match that didn't deliver.
Where did it hurt you and how? Where did Vince touch you?
Actually,
Let us know.
Technically, I guess I could say, show me one that didn't stand and deliver. Hey,
That
was a good one. That was a good one.
Oh.
Yeah,
Spaz is tired.
I
Tired
believe it.
here.
Liz, what are your takeaways from night 2 of WrestleMania?
You don't want to know. You don't want to know my takes on them.
Oh, I know you're not happy for a couple of reasons.
No,
Cody,
no, that main event, that sucked. Oh,
that didn't happen.
that main event was a hard pill to swallow.
I was sitting over here with four other. No, let's see. Yeah, it was 5 other people. Well, we were all watching this, and we're all like going, "What is going on with this match?"
It's a segment.
Yeah, and that's the problem. And
It's
John
like-
did say, "I'm going to ruin WrestleMania. I'm going to ruin wrestling. And that's what he did. I mean, he really stuck to the fucking
Well,
the heel
first
character.
of all, it took him forever to get to the ring. I'm like, dude, can he walk any slower?
Because it's a complete opposite. And I let me see if I could find the tweet that I had before, but it was pretty just. And
Snail's face.
John, because Alfred went ahead, Pro Wrestling Bits on YouTube, he said, John Cena's entrance was literally just a Microsoft Word font. I love it. So on brand with his new heel character. He owes you nothing, no new gear, no flashy entrance, nothing. It said his name, and that's it. He walked out with the single spotlight and him, and that's all you needed.
Imagine
it's-
if he had done the Tommaso Ciampa come out to no music thing.
I was almost hoping the crowd could have just serenaded him as he walked to the ring. It was certainly interesting, but I'm very upset that Cody Rhodes, he's Cody losing now.
Cody
breaking my-
Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, he's losing. Cody Rhodes is losing, and it is a bittersweet moment because I like having Cody as champion.
And you know he bangs Brandy with that helmet on.
Oh, absolutely, especially when it opens.
The helmet and the socks stay on, sir.
He's got that. As soon as he saw the Iron Man helmet that could lift open like that, he's like, "Oh, we got to make mine do that." He nerded out. He loved it. Cody Chodes, that might even be his his OnlyFans name, but yeah, I'm sad, Liz. I'm very sad that Cody lost the title, but
man, I was sitting there watching that match. I was like, going, "What in the heck am I watching here?"
yeah, it was baffling.
John Cena's gonna do the hardcore Holly bit, right? What do you want to do now? Give me the belt, let me beat everybody.
Just give it over, pass it to me. We're gonna take it.
The whole match, I was sitting there watching it. I was like, going, "What in the heck am I watching?" It's like
Slow motion.
And then Travis Scott's music comes on. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
And so it just sounds like a cat and he.
Exactly. And I was like, "Oh, I hate that song." It's like, oh my god.
It makes me miss the weekend.
Exactly.
Do.
Give
Jake?
me the WrestleMania 33 song that I had to listen to when I was down there live, when I was down there for that show. I'd rather listen to that than Travis Scott.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I'll cheer you up a little bit.
Ooh,
It's technically 1:27 a.m. Monday. So it's not the weekend anymore.
It is not the
Well,
weekend. Hey, now we got it.
True it is. It's
Absolutely.
It's 1:30 in the morning. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really happy I'm not working today.
I'm almost pulling 3 days up now. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. I'm
What
gonna
are
go
you
into a
doing,
coma at some
Cat?
point.
What do you want? My cat wants attention all of a sudden.
I know Milo's still gotta go pee at some point, but he's just
Well,
unconscious
I'm
on the
really good at
couch.
giving attention.
My cat stayed upstairs all night while I had people over, so he's all like, "Oh,
Now he gets to go and roam the house.
Yeah, well, I
Yes.
got a friend downstairs sleeping on the couch, but
What's sad is Jake and I are making eye contact, and he's the only one on camera.
We just know it's simpatico. I can sense it. I know. I knew it.
Even Connor said it earlier. Like, I can hear Spaz smiling. Fuck off.
I can hear the grin.
Oh, God.
Bianca lost and Naomi lost. How can I not smile?
I'm still shocked that Naomi lost. She wasn't involved in any of their story with Bianca. Maybe they'll progress things further, but that just was like such a.
I don't know, Bianca and Naomi losing. I'm sure they'll be accused of being not progressive.
Yeah, it was very underwhelming. I sadly I would didn't want to see it be that way, but
Jade Cargill looks like a huge fucking star. Though.
Jade looked decent in the match, but it still wasn't great, and
I mean presentation wise.
Yeah, presentation wise, yeah, certainly.
She's always presented like a star.
Yeah, absolutely. As big as she can be.
Lives up to it, yeah.
If it wasn't,
I'll tell you one thing, John Cena's post show was very interesting because he said absolutely nothing.
I guess he was only there so he didn't get fired, and nobody gave him muffins. Probably would have helped.
They asked him questions, and all he kept saying was, "Well, that's a kind of a lazy ass. That was a lazy question." So he's like, "I'm not going to answer that." I was like, "What?"
He just wants to get all of them to bow down to John. That's what it comes to.
First of all, he walks in there and he has Cody's face plates from the belt in his hands, and he just like throws them on the ground and like sits at the table. I was like, "Well,
okay, that's kind of funny.
That's kind of badass."
Cool. That's like taking the name.
Get this shit off me. Yeah, I don't want that filth.
He already had his face plates are already on the title.
Oh yeah, so he wasn't wasting any time.
In his hand. That's
what I'm saying. Like if he's like chucking them away metaphorically. Brandy. If you see Brandy on Twitter, she's got a very sad, perfectly framed black and white picture of her and Cody leaving the building with a little heartbreak emoji, and it's like, okay, except you didn't take that picture because you're in it. So
well, they tried to interview Cody as he's walking back to his bus, and one of the backstage girls was, and he didn't. He and I was like, he ain't gonna talk to you. Leave him alone.
All right, there's Cody Rhodes.
All of a sudden we get a a news report. Cody Rhodes has been fined for crossroadsing a backstage person.
Yeah, the security guard. Words are fun. Words are fun.
For somebody trying to interview him.
Yeah, just
know is what I mean. I don't get it. The Rock didn't show up. I was like, what was the point?
No, we got Mini Rock.
We got
we got the Mini Rock. We got Rock
Timu
right
Rock.
Out of the dryer. Right out of the dryer. Fine.
Like maybe if Travis Scott was involved with any of the build besides damaging Cody's eardrum and blacking his eye. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, I want to see him get a receipt." Yeah, he got the crossroads, but I would have liked to have seen him like actually whoop his ass a bit more, like really lay into him.
I'd like to see him whoop his butt.
All right, nobody's really said anything just yet. Heel New Day as tag champs.
It was such a waste of a match. It really was. I like New Day being tag champs, but I wish they capitalized on this a long time ago or waited for the heel turn. They should have given them the titles right after the heel turn because they've done nothing for months with them at all. They've just gone out and be berated by people while they berate them for not,
right.
being on their wavelength.
So would you have done the title change earlier, or would you have done the heel turn later?
I would have done the heel turn later. I would have done it on the build to Mania.
Because heel New Day winning the tag team titles is a WrestleMania worthy story.
Yes. And I think that
Okay,
would have
all
been the build to Mania. Would be the heel turn with Big
It's a
E.
worthy story if they do it the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, there was no follow-ups, and then they were getting beat by, you know, random jobbers and then nothing. So it was just very bizarre and unfortunate.
And to be honest, they should have done that TLC match on Mania, but that's just me.
Yeah,
true.
but I don't know if you were on the call yet, though. My theory on that is they held off because I think they're going to add Fraxium to the match.
I hope that would be the case.
And I can understand that.
Fraxium in a TLC match would be really fun. Or if you want to have them as a tag team, the tag team that never broke up, the tag team that breaks up other tag teams, and then they show up on SmackDown and break up on night one.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, bye-bye. Like I said, you know, they don't have the greatest track record of calling up tag teams from NXT.
I mean,
but here's
do you remember the Ascension? Do you remember the Ascension?
I remember when they became the Wasteland with Stardust.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Which was just fucked up enough to work. I hate it because, like, I know Cody said he hated doing the Stardust thing, but I actually really enjoyed the Stardust thing. After he, like, stopped being, like, just a double of Goldust and, like, made it into its own thing.
He just went around and hissed at people.
He's like an alien. It's fine.
Some of the Stardust stuff was okay, but some of it I was like, no.
Yeah. When he just started out as, like, a double of Goldust, but then he became, like, almost like Space Viking type thing.
Yeah.
But now we've got Vikingo from AAA, and I'm really glad that, you know, good old underdog WWE taught me who Vikingo is. I'm an asshole. It's fine.
Hey, it works though, right?
I know how we're gonna save. I really do know how we're gonna save the SmackDown tag titles, though.
How's that?
Because we've already got Street Profits, we've already got DIY, we've already got Motor City Machine Guns because they picked the good company.
Mhm.
We're already going to add Fraxium. You need a fifth team in that match. And one of them had a really good night tonight. Throw the Paul brothers in there.
Absolutely,
sure everybody will be happy.
I said
Everybody will be happy
before,
about that.
I thought Jake was going to come out tonight. I really did. I thought that we were going to get Jake coming out with. Remember, that was my prediction. I usually Logan brings out a big celebrity, and him having whatever his name out there was not really up to snuff for what I thought they were going to get. So
because here's the thing, they could have done it too. Because you had Karrion Kross come out there, but Karrion Kross came out there to stop one of Logan Paul's buddies from handing him the brass knucks, right?
Yeah.
Now, if it wasn't just one of Logan's random buddies and it was Jake trying to hand him the brass knucks and Karrion Kross gets involved, and you bring in a Hall of Famer for a cameo, you got Teddy Long comes back to be the general manager of WrestleMania for a minute, and he's like, "It's time for a tag team match, player." And then you get the Paul brothers versus AJ Styles and Karrion Kross with Scarlett in their corner. We get some tits to look at. Everybody wins.
I don't know about that one.
Okay, everybody that likes looking at tits wins.
Boobs for all.
God damn it! I have
you know who likes that?
I hate the Paul brothers.
So does everybody. That's what makes it really fun.
That's what would make them a great heel team, and I bet you Jake would actually be pretty good into it as well. I'm sure.
God.
I like Jake better than I like Logan, so.
You know, for what felt inconsequential, could be something.
Paul brothers. Here it is. It's AJ Styles and Karrion Kross as a tag team, managed by Scarlett.
Ooh.
Versus the Paul brothers, managed by Charlotte Flair.
Oh God! Now that's a heat magnet. My God.
That's so good.
Oh God.
You know, I still think that's the biggest.
Blanchard, whoever we can get.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, if she's not busy recording poop audio, we should be all right. But
it's fine. She's sewing farts in jars.
I don't bet against Flair. I am still genuinely shocked that we saw Flair lose. I really thought Tiffy's time was numbered. I was thrilled. Absolutely. Stewart said, I believe Kylie Jenner got pissed off because Kylie Minogue was using just her first name for albums. And this is the kind of shit people get upset over. You know, it's like ridiculous.
Yeah, but yet we're supposed to kiss Katy Perry's ass because she took a 5-second selfie vacation in space. Like,
imagine all of the people who wants to listen to
kiss the ground and she liked
Like, I know there is that overview effect that you get when you go up in space. It happens to astronauts because you feel minuscule and small because the Earth is so big, but yet all the people are there and you're up there, and it's this really like euphoric feeling.
I like the reporters that were taking the piss out of her. It's like, so what kind of makeup did you wear in space? It's like that's the kind of question you deserve. Because
Yes.
you didn't fucking do anything, you irrelevant twat.
It wasn't like they had two scientists, but it wasn't like it was like an expedition of women that have worked all their lives on researching space and aeronautics and all this, and now they get to achieve their lifelong goal of going to space.
She went out there and she like bullshitted like, oh, I really just want to bring, attention to women in this field. And I'm like, why don't you then leave it to women in that field?
See how easy it is to get Spaz going? Just send out the bait and reel it in. See, I got him all messed and ramped up now. He's getting all pissed off talking about female astronauts. God damn it.
Katy Perry's not an astronaut.
Technically, she went to outer space, so, hey.
She's an asshole in a costume.
She's an astronaut.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, no.
She's probably got an ass full of nut.
Well, I was happy to see Becky back.
Yes.
It was nice to see Becky back. I selfishly did not. I did not want them to have the tag team titles transferred.
I didn't expect them to win the tag team. That was not on the bingo card. So
it was not.
Are you kidding me?
Especially
if they're bringing back Becky at WrestleMania, she's gonna win. She's gonna come in and be like, "That doesn't work for me, brother."
Spaz so horny at this point, he's gonna start kicking holes in drywall and filling it himself. Jesus fucking.
They had a post. They were at the post show thing too.
Yeah. Walking around with their bird outfit.
Becky and her daughter.
It's the pigeon lady.
Okay. Separate new topic. Right.
All right. Okay.
What do we think of the WrestleMania stage that had fans in it? Because I thought that was really cool, except it limited what they could do with pyro.
I actually was kind of like, hey, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. How do you get those seats? Bucket A, right?
It is awesome, but
those cost me.
It limited what they could do with pyro and entrance stuff, though.
Yeah, it did though.
Because all the pyro was happening behind the stage.
Exactly. They had to keep it further back. And there was one point in time, I think it was early on. Was it for Drew? There was no. It was the actual when they did the pyro with Stephanie out there for the welcome to WrestleMania, and then it was like delayed like 5 or 6 seconds, and then a bunch more pyro shot off. You could tell because I didn't realize like how it's still none of it's digital. They have to do it all like remote detonation. And when they go through, you could tell like, oh, somebody missed a button because it was like everything was over, and then it was like.
Yeah, that's the downside of having people on the stage like that is you can't have the crazy pyro.
Yeah, we weren't able to blow them up. We had my great pyro here. I got shit coming out of my ass everywhere. Look at the green for the intro.
I told you got DX diarrhea.
That's right.
Cody's entrance tonight was different. I was not expecting that. So
I was not either. I like what they gave us, but
first of all, I was like going, "That's not Kingdom. What the heck song is this?"
I'm glad they went back and changed it.
Motorcyclers and
yeah, I was kind of like going, "Wait a second, I don't recognize this."
Well, yeah, no, it was the whole idea that John Cena came out as plain as possible, and Cody was going to do the opposite.
He's got dirt bikes and all the but it was cool. It was a great entrance for him, and I was kind of like, well, what really can they add more to what he's done so far with like the war-torn battle flags and all that last year? I must say though, but the stage, the hanging frames that were the screens, those were crystal clear, like 100-inch plus screens, bigger than that, massive, like it just so big.
Yeah, those things that was pretty cool. That
and they're floating, they're moving, they go up and down, and then they had all the different visuals on them, and like when somebody's coming out, the face is animated and it's following them, like it's so
I knew a girl like that
much going on. So much going on. They really tried to make it as visually pleasing as possible, and the way the stage was set up I really enjoyed actually too. So
the stage was great. The stage was good. The stage was great this year. It wasn't that bad last year either, but whatever.
The stage, I'm sorry, the best the stage looked all night was right before they did the Joe Hendry reveal, and they just did the opening doors and the bright white light.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how they ruin it on Twitter because you forget that when you're there live, when they turn off the lights, the cameras, it's pitch dark. Yeah, but yeah. So for us, we can't see a goddamn thing at home because the studio lights are down. But the audience is just watching him, like, disrobe and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Normally, you have to pay extra for that.
That's the thing.
Says Becky.
When Randy came out, and I was like, wait a second. That ring gear looks like something he wore like years and years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people had retro gear. Look at the Punk gear from night one.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah. And
I do
course,
like the
and of course he's out there talking, and I was like, and I told one of my friends who was over here, I said, they're like, well, who's he facing? I said, well, that's the thing, nobody knows. It's a mystery. And he's like, well, does Randy know? I'm like, no, Randy doesn't know either.
The trouble I've seen.
I do like obviously they had Living Color to do punk out to the ring, but like in his little like preemptive like video package there, he uses old music.
Kill Switch's This Fire Burns. I was a huge Kill Switch fan at that point in time. So when they had that album come out, it was like their metal version of whatever. I forget. It was like Ruthless Aggression or something. I don't know if I should say bless you or call an exorcist for you. What the hell was that, Cody? Jesus.
I'm sorry, I was.
No, if you need a priest, just let me know. I'll dial it again. Fine, bud.
Apparently that Kill Switch song, they used it for Randy Orton on one house show. There's a really janky video that floats around Twitter every now and then of him coming out to that. But it's like it was back at a time where, remember when Randy's entrance was basically the Evolution entrance with all the falling pyro?
Yeah, just the glitter behind him.
Music, and it looks like it's been dubbed. It looks like it's been dubbed over because it doesn't fit at all.
It's a great little Easter egg, but I always loved that song for Punk, even more than the Cult of Personality. I know this fits him better, but I just love the Kill Switch theme.
I do like because I never watched ROH.
And I have a friend who doesn't know a lot about wrestling, so we had to explain to him how all this works. He's like, well, how come the guy doesn't know who he's wrestling? I said, well, it's a long story.
You got a bit of a tale to tell.
It's just the fact that in this WrestleMania 3,
explain to him that the guy he was originally supposed to face is going to have neck surgery, and he's like, "Is that the guy that Cody ran through the ladder?" I was like, "Yeah, that's the guy."
That's why he needs neck surgery because Cody fucked him up with that spike on the ladder.
It is kind of funny that in this WrestleMania, technically 3 people didn't know who they were facing.
Yeah,
because El Grande Americano was supposed to face Ray and ended up facing Ray instead.
Yeah.
Swapped out one Ray for another. They all look the same place. Because of the masks. Be nice, everybody. And then Randy didn't know who he was facing. And then
he sobered up and he was like, oh, Jesus, it's Joe Hendry.
Oh man!
Randy.
When Joe Henry, when they revealed it was Joe Henry, I literally lost it. I was like, "Oh my god! I actually called it! Holy shit!"
Amen.
I went nuts.
Yeah. I'll give another shout out to the Wrestling for Life guys. As I said, I was watching their watch along
WFU
stuff, and one of their guys, Anthony, does more talk about TNA than like anybody I've seen in our community. And for the first, it was only a 3-minute match. For the first 2.5 minutes of the match, he just didn't even he was on screen, but he was just staring at his screen and doing the
yeah, a little rich.
There's a doings a transpiring.
Yeah, there's a something happening. I gotta go get my.
The thing is, earlier today, I was just throwing out names of who it could possibly be, and I was kind of going, well, what about Joe Henry?
That one makes the most sense.
Technically, Randy Orton should get a TNA World Title shot now, right?
Well, I mean, sure, why not?
Do it at Backlash. We thought he was getting a title shot at Backlash, and it does say title shot, but it says TNA title.
Triple H did say in the post show thing that Joe Henry will see. There'll be more things for Joe Henry in the future. So who knows?
Well, he was supposed to feud with The Miz, and then they couldn't come to a creative decision about it.
Yeah.
So he came down and did NXT stuff instead. That was fun. I think he like fought Trick, didn't he? Jake, you got a better memory than me.
I don't remember, honestly. I'm at the point now where I'm grasping at straws, literal and figurative.
Well, I've lied.
I think you're right, though. I think it was Trick.
Of course, he wants. I know. Henry wants to go. He wants to face Cena. So
that would be great.
Oh my God.
They could build it, especially if he loses the title soon. He doesn't need to be a long-running TNA champion. Obviously, they have plans with him.
I got friends on Facebook. They're like, "Well, Cena's going to hold the title all the way till the end of the year, and Cody's never going to get it back." And I was like, "Oh my God, y'all are so stupid."
Yeah, Triple H said the Raw after Mania tomorrow. It's going to be big and a lot. There's going to be a lot on it, and it's going to be exciting. All right, thank you, Triple H.
I don't trust him.
I need them to book a pay-per-view in Chicago where CM Punk wins the WWE title from John Cena, and the first person that gets a front row seat is Tony Khan.
Yeah. The Fumble Rumble.
I tell you what, if Rob better be good tomorrow to later. Well, I can say later tonight.
I don't know if I can trust Triple H because he's done this. It's gonna be huge before.
It's gonna be huge.
EO Sky tweeted out, she said, and still, this victory meant so much to me. And you could just see how happy she is here. So really cool to see that. That's what I wanted for her. She, she needed to retain or walk away with the title at Mania. She didn't need to be beaten again. And
she's the best champion.
She's as much
fantastic.
As I wanted to see Rhea win.
I would never say that. That's what they tell me.
It's just confusing because The Rock is half in and half out. You're half in and half out. My brain's half in and half out. Really,
the WWE
realistically,
Women's division, there's so many of them. What we've done is we've built a wall.
I want to believe you, Triple H.
Red Rover. Please send your women over.
All at once. Don't worry, Bailey. You'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. Oh, sorry. I need you to sit out. We're gonna have Becky come in.
What's going on? Where's Bailey? What are they doing with Bailey now? That she
nothing apparently.
I was on Air Force One, and they said, "Don't worry. In an emergency, Bailey may be used as a flotation device."
Well, if she can't float, then there's something wrong. But I thought Pico figured out before that she had that infected Kunrat and the whole little bloody fucking trail. But if that's the case,
but Jake, have you seen her sister? Two of my favorites.
No, all I gotta say is night two. The night two was better. I enjoyed some of the matches in night two more than night one. So
right. Night two was 5 for 5, and then the women's tag was disappointing only for the outcome.
Everything was great until you got to that so-called main event, if you want to call it that.
I was not happy that Bailey was not able to compete, and Becky took her spot, and then went ahead and won the titles anyways. Lyra's a double champ, so that's a bit risky. But all in all, I mean, we were still cooking at that point in time.
So Becky and Lyra going to lose to the NXT people on Tuesday night?
Maybe not. I would like them to. I hope so. Yeah, that would be great for them.
Managed by Shotzi, formerly seen at Destiny. Check it off your Spaz Phoenix bucket list. It's fine.
One of the best takeaways.
I would never say that. That's what they tell.
One of the best takeaways I would say for me is probably Dom winning. I was really looking forward to the IC title match. I'm glad he pinned Finn.
God.
I was happy. He said before he was defending 2 bloodlines. So
he's over.
I'm so over watching Finn lose. I'm like, God damn.
Oh no, fair.
Win something.
Of course.
The reason The Rock didn't show up because he's didn't show up to WrestleMania is because he's still in his kitchen trying to put the fucking Rubik's Cube together.
No, he's working on their deal to buy New Japan.
Oh God.
Oh,
radio from under Tony's nose.
AAA first, and then New Japan.
Lots of drugs up his nose.
Oh, allegedly. Remember when we had that, that time that was magical, and oh, that's right. One word for the ending. Fucked. Forever a John Cena kid, and the kid's holding the sign behind him, and Travis and him are holding the titles behind their back, and that's what we go out on. Travis fucking Scott.
Travis
Oh
Scott and
God.
John Cena are
Oh,
tag
it's
team
so
world
it's
champions.
just it's so bad. I mean, you could have done it so much better.
There was so many ways this could have been done. Oh, you're a fan, don't be a critic. No, this is awful.
I'm telling you, man, freaking CM Punk should have come out at the end and just dropped him on his head.
I wish someone would have come out and dropped Travis Scott on his goddamn head.
Yeah, no
Well,
doubt about it. I mean, he got Crossroad, but
I was gonna say I don't think we should try anything else on him. By the way he sold that Crossroads, I think he nearly became a human bobblehead.
yeah, he
Yeah.
could have
And we're-
become the next Chris
and
Bay
we're
with the way he moved there. Jesus,
Oh,
that was bad. What's next for Travis Scott in WWE? Triple H, let's hear.
Where he is just incredibly passionate about WWE.
Oh, he's incredibly passionate.
And for me, that's an opportunity for them to come
He's
in
gonna
here,
be a bigger
obviously,
bobblehead
put
than
all
JD
that
McDonough.
aside and be a little kid.
facts.
Alrighty. Dave Meltzer
I
said
like
Cena won the belt. Cena won via belt shot after Cody laid out Travis Scott. Cody refused to hit him with the belt because he was a babyface. People were happy to see the 17 record, but boy, was that finish lame. Thank you, Dave, on your wonderful input.
I'm sure the
you know,
check's in the
it's
mail.
kinda funny
Yeah.
because after the I watched a lot of the post show thing, and it was Big E was like he wasn't happy about the way that match ended either, and neither was I don't think anybody was happy except for all the Cena fans apparently.
Yeah.
I'm saying Big E could have sold the Crossroads better, and he doesn't have a neck.
Io Sky
Probably.
got a new shirt too that says Champion of the Sky, and it's the WrestleMania logo. It's a green shirt. It looks really cool, and she's all excited putting it on, so that's great to see.
I tell you what,
Joe Hendry has a
Henry
WrestMania
on
shirt.
the WWE shop
Yes.
looks great.
I know, she's super excited to have it. Just
I love it. EO.
That's cool. So just great to see all of the, excellent things going on here. People enjoying themselves. That's what Mania Weekend's all about. We have been trying to just continue to grow and build here and build up an awesome community of great wrestling fans and like-minded individuals that like to laugh at silly, stupid shit and like to be immature while also being serious
Well,
at
I tell you what,
times. And
my stream later on today is going to be a very interesting conversation.
I'm sure for sure. We'll have to check that out as well. You'll be on Twitch.
Everybody go show Liz some love.
Absolutely.
Well, see, the thing is, I'm not streaming. I'm gonna watch Raw. I'm gonna stream in the afternoon. I'm watching Raw, so Raw better be good. Because if it's not, then
Because usually you stream it while Raw's on, so.
I
But
usually
Raw
stream
after
when Raw is
Mania.
on, and I'm kind of like it's Raw after Mania, so I want to like change my schedule around. And so Raw better be worth it. So
Cultaholic Wrestling exclusive WWE discussing rebranding AAA to NXT Mexico.
oh God.
How quick was that?
I kinda
The
saw that
day
coming
after.
anyway.
WWE announced their acquisition. AAA may undergo a name change. According to sources, there have been conversations about AAA becoming WWE NXT Mexico.
Oh my God, do it. I'm sure everybody on Twitter will be very normal.
So ultimately, they ended up directly acquiring the Mexican promotion, not having to go through a third party. And they will collaborate later this year at the NXT crossover with AAA for Worlds Collide, emanating from the Kia Forum in LA on June 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then 7 is Money in the Bank. Busy day. But yeah, I can see them being from the Gulf of America, the next big
Oh,
thing,
God.
right?
Oh my God.
One
I
word
swear
for it
to
all.
God.
I tell you what,
Fantastic.
I'm going to SmackDown next month. So
I know.
yeah,
At least you
that's
got,
gonna be...
you're going to see heel Cena. You got that to look forward to.
No,
I swear to
I'm
God.
not looking forward to that at all.
I swear to God, under the WWE regime, the next AAA mega champion needs to be El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Not that far off, I
I'll
think
tell you
it
one
could be
thing, I'll tell
something
you one
fun.
thing. Well, see, the thing is, the show I'm going to is after Backlash. Well, not really. It's like 2 or 3 weeks after Backlash, but still.
It's
So, who
it's
knows
only
what's
it's
gonna happen.
not far at all. That's for sure. You're pretty much right there at the cusp of
Well,
it.
Backlash is like 2 or 3 weeks away. I'm going to SmackDown on the 30th of May. So
Absolutely, you're gonna have a blast. That's for sure. Overall, I think WrestleMania was a resounding success. Night 2 definitely better than night 1, but I
Stand
mean,
and deliver, oi, oi, oi.
I was going to say that was still my favorite thing of the entire weekend was Stand and Deliver. And not to sound like a drone being on and on again saying, oh, NXT is, but it really just that tag team match. My favorite match of the entire weekend. And like I said, I love Fraxium, but Hank and Tank, they got me to believe. They did what I needed.
Stand and Deliver was great.
We didn't talk about the heartbreak.
What's that? Oh, yes, with Stacks. Tony D.
Oh. Yeah.
Another betrayal. I love the way they set it up because of, he was mad. He's not using the crowbar. He throws it away. We're not doing it this way. And then he turns and he hands it to the ref. And I'm like, oh, he's still going to betray him. But he's, and it was like, oh, he gave him that little moment. And Tony just knew. He turned around. He knew what was coming. And I'm in a way glad that they didn't have Stacks be with Dark State, be the leader, he just was having a problem with Tony. They still could be in cahoots in some way, but I don't think so.
Handed them a win.
That's what I'm saying. So it still could be, that he's helping him, but it's not as much of a definitive thing as it was before. Now it's more he's got an issue with the family.
I really need a running count of how many people got hit in the nuts this weekend.
Several.
Tony D.
Yep.
Roman. Punk.
CM Punk.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody.
Was there one in the street fight? There was just a claymore into a chair.
Yes, which looked extremely painful.
Which is totally fine, obviously.
Absolutely. Hey, if you're making it look good, that's what you can do. But it is no longer 420. It's no longer Easter. But we had a great time here hanging out on Into Somewhere. I really appreciate everybody the last few days joining all the streams and all the support. Everybody just making this as great of a time as it could be. Been a really stressful, shitty few days, and being able to come on here, relax, and feel useful has been a glorious thing. So I know we have Spaz and Cody linked in the description down below. I'll make sure Liz's info is in there as well. You guys can go ahead and check out all these amazing people. But just to go ahead and hammer it home one more time, Spaz, where can they find you?
Oh, man. YouTube, Spaz Phoenix Podcast, Rumble, Spaz Phoenix Podcast, Spotify, Spaz Phoenix Podcast, iTunes, Spaz Phoenix Podcast. If you want to get in touch with me more directly, you can find me on X, not Twitter, at Spaz Phoenix, and the same on Instagram, and hanging out here with Jake.
Damn straight.
And go show Jake some love, because he's been busting his ass for you guys this weekend.
Yep.
I appreciate it, guys. We're so close to 4,000 subs over here. It's been just really humbling having all of that go together. It's been a lot of fun too. We've had some great laughs. We've watched some amazing wrestling, and we're gonna be live tomorrow night with the Raw after Mania. Well, it's technically tonight. Then we'll be live Tuesday for NXT review for the NXT after Mania live from Las Vegas as well. And then this Sunday for the TNA pay-per-view. So that's gonna be an incredible show. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. It really has been just a damn great night. I appreciate all of your companies. Liz, they can find you on Twitch at DJ Anime 2016. Cody.
That is where you can find me.
Yes, indeed. Make sure everybody goes and follows you there. I'm even subscribed to your Twitch over there.
Yeah, you're subbed to my Twitch. So.
That's right. And then we got my good buddy Cody. So you can find him on the Judgment Day era.
Twitch for all my crazy emotes.
Exactly. Got to get them all to have them. And then I still got to come in and do my Cody woes. But I also want to thank everybody in the chat. Shell, God, he's been hanging out here. Pico the whole time. We had Coot in the house. Paul probably passed out, but he was here for a bit. You guys just kept that chat flying. I loved looking over. Pico, you cracked me quite a bit. You got me to pop. But thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for making it a memorable stream. I really appreciate it. I hope you all had a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow for more wrestling news. Stay sexy, everybody. Have a great night.
Bam.